podcast called?
Strange Herd. The Strange Herd. Because we're all just one big happy herd on this little rock floating through space. Zay, I can't remember. Did we? Was Strange Herd was taken, or so was it? Or was it the Strange Herd?
No.
Okay, it was just Strange Herd. Okay.
For which handle?
Well, there's for the YouTube page. It's just the Strange Herd.
It's called Strange Herd Pod.
Okay, Strange Herd Pod.
Okay. Strange Herd Pod.
Yeah.
Podcast?
Yeah, just Pod, right, Zay?
I believe it's just Pod.
Just Pod. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm just going to post
No,
it.
you're good.
Okay. What else? Okay, let me just put a little hashtag on there. Podcasting. Okay, I'm just going to post it.
Cool.
Sorry.
The best thing is like, I was like, today was really good because like for all the calamity that happened.
Yeah.
Like it was like I was like, thank God, like we didn't have anything else on the books. It was just like this was the one big thing to do today, and then everything else is just going to be like kind of like just prep work for the rest of the month and God, the rest of the year basically.
Oh my gosh.
It's like it is like we were almost halfway through December.
I know. New Year's going to be here before we know it.
Oh, and dude, do you got any plans for New Year's?
No, I'm not sure. I just reconnected with my sister who lives in Philadelphia, and I haven't seen her in years.
Oh my gosh.
So she's expecting, and we don't know if the baby's coming anytime around Christmas.
Ooh.
So I want to travel up there to visit her.
How do you feel about like North versus South? Like, do you feel like
I'm a North girl.
I mean, like, but it's like, but you've lived down here most of your life.
Yeah, long enough to say I'm from here.
Well, and then on top of that, Atlanta versus like I always joke, it's like either you're from Atlanta or you're from Georgia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's different.
they're
Completely different.
Two different
Yeah,
places.
I'm not from Atlanta.
Like
I was raised in Georgia.
Yeah, but if people then like it's like there's just that weird persona of like oh you're from Atlanta. It's like but I'm from Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a little different.
It's like we say Atlanta because y'all probably don't know where Gwinnett is.
Yeah.
Like
you don't know Lawrenceville. You don't know any other place besides the
or Snell Vegas as we so fondly call it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
everybody somebody.
It's everybody is somebody. It's like no, they ain't. Some people ain't shit.
No, literally. It's like, wait.
Oh, are we rolling Zaymeister?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So, how did you lock your keys in your car?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's a story.
Yeah.
So I was at this broker's open,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a $5 million property. And I was nervous because I didn't know exactly where to park because this house had two entrances, two different driveways, one that led to the garage and one that led to the front of the property.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting on my agent friend as well, to tour the house. And anyways, come to find out, my key battery, I guess, is low. So sometimes it doesn't
That's
have
exactly what he said. Was just like I was like, dude, how? I was like, how do you lock it? He's like, dude, it happens. Trust me.
It's never happened to me before because with my little Kia that I love so much, it never allows you to lock your key inside.
Yeah, it gives you like a little beep beep or something
Exactly.
like that.
And like there have been times where like I'm legit have my key outside of my car and it won't let me lock. So I'm just like, what the heck? Like
lock, damn it.
Lock it, dang it, And so anyways, this is one of the situations, I guess I forgot that I didn't have my key in my coat jacket, and I thought that's where it was. It was actually underneath my book bag. And so I went to lock the door, but I locked it instead of using my little thingy.
You push the button on
my
the
button. I decided to let me just like lock the door using like the little button inside. So I just like locked the door on my way out of the car, and then I shut it. And as soon as the door closes, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have my keys. Like I didn't grab it, So I'm like, So I'm like pocket checking everything. I'm like, crap, I don't have it. And this is like right before I even walk into this gorgeous house. And I'm just like,
that's rough.
But then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stress about it.
It's fine.
I'm gonna find a way. Let me just go look at this house and like I'll figure that out later. Thank God for AAA.
Yeah, dude, I tell you, man, I have have you ever tried to do like the coat hanger like to get into the car?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I've spent 2 hours, but I got it.
You got it. That's
I
the
got
thing.
it.
As
Yeah.
long as you get it, you can. No one can be mad. I saw one. I used to drive a Charger, and it has that little like. It didn't have like the thing where you could just push it.
Uh-huh.
It was like one of those ones that just pops up, and
Oh
then you
yeah.
push it down to lock. And I was like, oh my god! So I started YouTubing, trying to figure out how to unlock from, which is such a sketchy thing to put in your how to break into.
Yeah. What's going on here?
It's like I'm definitely getting somebody's list.
Yeah.
It's not Santa's. But there's a cool thing. You could take a shoelace and you just kind of work it through the window and you tie a loop on it.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to describe, but you tie take a
You're going
shoelace.
fishing.
Yeah, it's like I was like, if this works, it works. I saw the guy do it on the YouTube video, but he tied a loop in the middle in the middle of the shoelace, and he kind of wedged it through, and then you like try to get it to where it hooks onto it, and you just yank it really hard.
Uh-huh.
It worked. I was like, and everyone was like,
Wait. How?
so like if this is the where the lock is, that
Uh-huh.
little part that goes up and down,
Uh-huh.
it's towards the back of the door. So you work it through the back side of the window, drop it on there, and then like if you can get just enough tension on it, you can just and pull it up.
Oh wow. That's unreal.
Like that was life hacks, man. They some of them are crap, like some of them are absolutely just silly, but then some of them are actually really good.
Okay.
Like,
I'm glad. Cheers to that.
It-
One time, one of my friends, I guess they have one of those kits for the car. And so this happened right in my driveway. And it's so funny because some of my neighbors were outside and they were grilling. And so like they're like
you had an audience.
literally they were literally watching me, like did not offer to help or anything. I think at some point I saw one person with their plate. They were just like across the street and like
Let's see if she gets it.
literally. And like and at that point I was like, okay, I can't give up. Like these people are watching me. They're gonna talk crap regardless. Like I gotta get my key. I'm on a mission. Like let me just focus on this. And it took me like a good 1 hour and a half. I kid you not. I finally got it, and I feel like right after I got my key, then everyone left. It was like they were just waiting, like they were just like watching the show, and then once they were like, "Oh, she got it! Wow, I'm impressed."
mean,
Okay, it's time to go.
Man, well, have you seen? Like, I've seen the people that do like the AAA use the little like inflatable pads to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've seen those videos, and I'm like, or like I've seen like the
Do you
Jimmy's.
remember when Joseph locked his keys in his car so much that he had one of those
Yes!
pads just to get
Oh.
into his car?
I thought about buying that just for my car,
Yep.
actually.
I mean, but if it's inside your car,
That part, like, how are you gonna get to
it's
it?
like, well, it's like I have something to unlock my car. However, it is in my locked car. But it's just I mean,
Oh
there's
my
so many
God.
life hacks and stuff. Like like with do you see on your like your Instagram reels and your like For You pages and stuff? You get a lot of those things with like, oh, did you know this about your like? This might make me sound old, but I love finding out like how to do things right with appliances now.
Oh my gosh, hilarious! Tell me something you found out recently.
So you know how dishwashers they
Uh-huh.
have the little rack for all the silverware,
Uh-huh.
and like you're like, oh my god, I got so many. Like you have a big dinner party or like
Uh-huh.
have a bunch of friends over, and you have a bunch of plates and stuff. You're trying to clean it all at once because
Uh-huh.
you just want to get it done.
Yeah.
I cannot go to sleep with a kitchen that's dirty.
Uh-huh.
I just can't.
Okay.
Like in the sink is not clean. That is dirty dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
So I saw this guy was like, did you know you can just take that out and there's like a little concaved part of the front door of your dishwasher that you can just lay it in there?
What?
Yeah.
Is this all dishwashers?
To preference, I do not know, but it did work in mine.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Because you're gonna see it and you thought maybe that's just like because it looks like, oh, maybe it's just for the, like where the cage is that holds all the plates. And
Uh-huh.
but then I laid it in there and I was like, there's no way, and I shut it snug. And I was just like, I could have had all these bowls and all these plates done in one take. But yeah, so it's like learning stuff like that,
Wow.
or like with your experience, like you were more on the buyer side or the seller side or both. Like,
Both.
Yeah.
I've helped more sellers than buyers, but I
Yeah.
help both.
Oh God, I think this might be I know rookie mistake.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
2 times in a row, the phone.
All right, Devin. Now you're on the podcast. What's up, brother? Let's go. What?
Do you have
I can't fix your heat because I can't get into the attic.
Dang it. Would you, if I send you some money to go buy a ladder, would that help?
I'm just gonna have to come tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Well, I will definitely make sure to get a ladder for you tonight, so that way we can get it taken care of tomorrow.
It's like a 6-foot fiberglass.
I have
or
one of
something like
those.
that. Might have to spend about $80.
Yeah.
$60, $80 on.
I don't know if we have.
But yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
but yeah,
1
I'm
minute, I
okay.
can grab one.
I'm
Okay.
okay.
Thank you so much.
Sad, but the car I think is okay.
Okay, I was about to ask. For preference, my buddy Devin works in HVAC, and my tenant had her heat go out today.
Oh no.
And I was like, Devin, could you help me out? And he's like, I got you, brother. And then he got into a fender bender.
Oh no.
But he's okay, thank the Lord.
Thank the heavens above.
And then we get to the destination only to find out that we can't do anything.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh.
No good deed goes unpunished, brother.
So I'm headed back to the house to figure out dinner and stuff.
I got you, man. Well, I'll definitely make sure to send you some love via money because I appreciate the effort and everything, and I love you to death. And so,
Love you too, man.
all right, brother.
Will y'all get back to it?
Yeah,
All right,
we'll get
brother.
back to it, brother.
We'll talk to you later, brother.
I love you, man. Thanks again. Yeah, so this new tenant, super awesome.
Tell me about that because I'm actually getting ready to convert my single family house into a rental
Yeah, I
first
saw
quarter
that.
next year.
I saw you talk about that with Carlos. It's
Did you actually watch the podcast?
Yeah, I was. Dude,
You know so much now. I
well,
gave so much information about myself. I was like dreading the day that it came out because I was like, oh my gosh, like. And then also, I feel like I'm so new to podcasting that like after the podcast ends, like I think of all these things.
you
It's like,
could have said.
crap it, why didn't I say this? Or I should have said this. Or you know.
You can never like it's.
You say so much, but then you could.
There's so much you didn't,
Yes.
and it's like I mean, but the thing is, it's like after like because I think the
What
first
was your opinion of it?
it was great. Like Carlos does a great job. Like I love his
Okay.
setup, and he's super. And like I love Carlos to death. Like
Yeah.
we played football together.
Oh,
like
I didn't
and
know that.
like me, him, and Jemai. Like we were all great friends.
Okay.
And so like the fact when I saw he was doing it, and I just started doing it,
Uh-huh.
I was like, hey man, like I went there kind of like just to kind of see how he's doing it.
Yeah.
And like try to figure out if I was doing it, like for instance, like with his setup, he does it with his camera on his phone, and he has the road set
Yeah.
up, and I think it's top notch. I went out and got like a bunch of 4K little webcams because I'm like, oh well, I can just I'm breaking the habit of just trying to find the cheapest way to do things.
I have that habit too. It's
Yeah.
not a bad habit to have.
It's like, hey man, it makes your bank account happy.
And what's the better way to say cheap?
economical value adding?
No, there's another word. I can't think of it right now. What's the word? Come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. I mean, when I was in sales, they were always like, I need the cheapest, best option. And I was like, well, I have this with the best economic value for you. And they're like, what does that mean? It's like, it's the cheapest option.
Yeah.
It's like, it's going to be the most economical, meaning it's not going to cost you that much.
Exactly. That's so funny.
Seabass, did you find the iPhone cable for the lady?
I'm so sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I don't know if we got a.
We got some extra blocks. There should be one in the camera bag. Man,
Sebastian, we appreciate you.
he's so.
At least someone does.
I love you too, son.
Was Sebastian a Brickwood boy too? Brickwood
he was
Bronco?
a Hebron. Was it the private school?
Yeah, but not Hebron. It's just Barrow County.
Barrow County. That's what it was.
Oh, Barrow County Private School.
Yeah, man.
In the house.
He's
Whoop, whoop.
too smart for his own good.
Oh gosh, I'm scared then.
We still don't have a block.
There's not one in that
Not a
back.
block,
Use the. There's one over.
Oh,
use the other one. There's another one of those on the couch that has the USBs in it.
Hey, it's okay.
the USB.
I don't need a
Well,
I don't need it next to me. Like you guys can have it.
but what if like someone calls and says, "I have a $5 million house for you"?
In that case, I need it.
I mean, if I can find a free port.
There's a port on the table.
Where?
The one right there. It's also got the USBs in it.
Then your phone might just have to be up here.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. You can. I put it on loud, but I can put it on private. I mean, not what is it? Silence.
I'm not saying unless we run something to that table real quick, but I don't know if we have
Or
the wire.
you know what we could do?
long enough.
What? No, literally, I don't mind not having it. Honestly, it's not a big deal for sure. Like 1,000%. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Seabass. Thank you, Seabass.
Sea bass.
The
Yeah.
bass of the sea.
Oh my god, I love them to death, man.
What instrument do you play, Jared?
I play a few.
Ooh.
So my main would definitely be the guitar.
Okay.
That's my main. My side chick is definitely the drums,
Alright.
and
Okay.
then my dirty little third, bass. I've been
Really?
loving playing bass, and of course I
Okay.
sing too and do that.
Hit a note for us. I'm just kidding.
I don't know why I went Michael Jackson. And I.
Okay.
Dude, Carlos tried to get me. He tried to put me on the spot there too on his podcast. He's like, "Dude, give us a line." I'm like, "You gotta pay for it."
That's a good one. That is a good one. That's a good one.
If you're
I
good
think
at it.
that's what I'm gonna start saying. I've got friends that want some real estate advice. I'm like, pay me in tacos and I'll give you free real estate advice.
Oh, man, are you?
Give me a margarita.
Oh, dude, God, margaritas. I'll get
I'll
that.
tell you everything I know.
What's one margarita? You're gonna know what my down payment is. Two margaritas, you're gonna know what I'm financing.
Okay,
At.
3 margaritas, you gonna know everything.
No closing costs. Like,
Period. Yeah.
oh my God, dude, there's so like. The funny part now is I'm also like, since I can play drums, bass, guitar, sing.
Yeah.
The piano is the one part I'm definitely I outsource just.
Okay.
I would love to learn it, and I think if I did, I think it would just help me so much across the board with music. But what I'm trying to do is, like, my biggest thing is growing up, like, my parents were always just like, just understand, we love that you're doing music, we want to support you. You gotta understand it's going to be hard to make money, and
Yeah.
like there's an ongoing joke like with the guys on YouTube. There's all these dudes that play and show you how to play songs, and they're like, "All right, guys, I'm going to show you the most difficult thing to do with the guitar, and that's make money."
Wow. What the heck?
I mean,
Why? Because it's oversaturated?
it's not only that it's oversaturated, because there are a ton of guitar players out there, and I hate saying oversaturated because music is a great, like, just therapeutically, like there's music therapy. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
So like we'll go on a quick tangent about music therapy because I was thinking about maybe doing that because there is like people with like maybe like mental disabilities or people that have all different types of ailments. There's something about like that music will do, like meditation's a big part of that kind of ties into that. Like
I've heard about something about like the bass or something.
the frequencies.
Frequencies, yeah.
It's like play this at 400 something hertz and it'll get rid of all your anxiety.
How do you do that? How do you exactly change the hertz? I'm so confused by that.
That goes a lot more into the audio engineer side of things, which I mean, like you got.
How does the everyday person do that?
Yeah, I mean, it comes into like the pitch. So like you have what notes you have because like like the middle C on a key piano is 440, 444, something like that.
I want to say it's 444.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, basically it's how many times like it wiggles and that vibration makes the sound that hits the air, and that's the premise behind it. That it's like that vibration vibrates your cells.
Oh.
And there's even been some people that have said that there's a way to like kill cancer cells.
I believe it.
I mean, yeah, I would love for that because
I did a mommy and me yoga session at a friend's house, and she brought the
bowl.
I forgot what they're called.
Yeah,
there's a name for them.
They're like Tibetan like meditation bowls or something like that.
It was like you could definitely tell, and it was almost like they said that when you rub it around the whatever, I guess it sounds like your soul or your aura. Don't quote me on any of this. I forgot. It's been a long time.
I'm not against letting like people to like. I have a friend Audrey who is super into that. She talks about crystals. She talks about healing stuff. And
confirm with her.
Yeah, I'll check with my expert. But she's like super into that things. But I think with like the vibration and music, because I mean, everyone's been like when it comes to music, like for instance, like what's your go-to? You're getting yourself hyped up to meet a new client. You're about to get in the zone. What's your in the zone game time song? Do you have one?
Ooh, not the one that I can think of right now. It depends. I have one for the gym.
Yeah. Ooh, what's the gym playlist like?
Oh wait, let me think.
Like, are you like I'm trying to think. Are you more like you want something that gets you hyped?
I need like a Beyonce.
A Beyonce?
I feel like
are
anything
you in the
Beyonce. Oh, I'm not in the Beehive.
Okay.
That's so weird to say. I'm not. No offense to the Beehive.
No
okay?
offense. Yeah. Don't
large...
come after us,
okay,
please.
please.
We're not there yet.
Okay. I'm not part of the Beehive, but for some reason, there's something about a Beyonce song, like a "Upgrade You." Oh my gosh! Like I will be like dying on the treadmill, like I can't run or walk another step, but that
Yeah.
song comes on and I'm like, wait a second, I
I
got this
got this.
energy. Like I'm like, okay.
Dude, I like the AC/DC song I was telling you about. It, for those about to rock, we salute you. I listen to that almost every time I'm driving to a gig because it's
Wow.
like you don't know what you're gonna get out of
Yeah.
it. But
But you need that pump up, man, because then you
Just-
walk in and you're like ready.
oh yeah, you got to get mentally ready. And I mean, like when I was in sales and stuff, driving through. I used to drive down 78 to 275 to 400.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the 3 worst roads in Atlanta.
Oh gosh.
Especially like, and I just have to sit through traffic and just like get like mentally prepared to just absolutely go kill it.
Oh wow.
Just like hungover, tired, just still recuperating from last night's like just jam session stuff. Because that was the worst. Monday mornings, like Sunday, go to church, try to get my spirit right, and then like recover. And then there's still like, and then sometimes like, especially during football season, then it's like, hey, let's go crush some Bears and watch the Falcons lose.
Are you a Falcons fan?
I am.
Oh.
I love them to death.
Are you a Falcons fan?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Oh wow.
I don't cheer for any rookie teams. I don't even cheer for the Bulldogs. So.
Oh wow. So who are you cheering for?
One, I don't cheer for too many teams, but mainly Chicago.
Oh, okay.
My family comes from Illinois, so most of the teams I cheer for are all Illinois.
Okay.
I mean,
Cubs
dude,
and Bears.
Cubs and Bears, baby.
I'm just not into the sports theme or the team stuff. I've never I honestly it's been like maybe a year now that I've learned the game of basketball.
Okay.
So I can watch that. I can understand what's going on.
It gets a lot better when you can kind of see the strategies they're doing.
So much better when you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Football, no idea. None.
Well, and you know what? Football's an interesting one too, because I think it was what's Wyclef from the Black Eyed Peas?
Okay, don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not good at trivia.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, well.
But he had a really good point that he was talking about how like it's crazy with schools and stuff. There's no other thing in schools that is designed like football. That there's one company and then that you can go professional with football, NFL. Well, now there's XFL and other leagues, but it's not even a comparison. NFL is the primo like football league in the world.
Okay.
But every high school seems to have a football program.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, well, why don't we do that with robotics and this or like science? And it's like, well, because you got meatheads like me that just want to hit people. Just
what the heck?
But I mean, it's interesting because that's like with sports and stuff, like you can't to tie it into music. There's a statistic about you have a better chance of being a walk-on NFL football player than getting signed to be a songwriter for any major label.
Oh wow!
It
I
is
didn't know that.
thin pickings.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I mean, if this music thing doesn't work out, maybe I'll just go try to be a water boy or something.
Oh, whatever, Jared. Shut your mouth. Don't say those things.
I can't. I'm in this for life, man. I can't stop it. I mean, like there's just points in like life when like tying back to the music and therapy part of it. Like when you're getting hyped up to go to the gym, or like if you had a really bad breakup, there's songs that will help heal that mood that you're in.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't help it, man. I love it too much. And there's nothing better than when you play a song and the crowd goes wild. And even if it's in a bar with maybe like 100 people,
Yeah.
like, or hell, even at like a small place that's like maybe got like 30, 40 people. If you got 34, like we were playing at the Moonshiners in Brazelton last Friday. Wild.
Really?
Just, I mean,
I still want to go out and see you play, Jared. I said next time I was going to go and I didn't go.
we'll have to get the upgrade song added to the playlist.
Yes, upgrade.
I mean, it's insane, like how like it will do so much for you if you let it. And then like a big dating red flag for me is like if like so like I always ask, so what's your like top 5 songs right now? Because I try to narrow it down.
Whoa. Oh, wait, how does this tie into dating?
Because I will judge you. And it's like,
Oh, so that's why you asked about my song. Upgrade.
damn it, she's on to me. But I mean,
okay, so tell me more about this logic. I want to know.
I just like the Swifties thing right now.
Okay.
Like because there's a fine line between like I can appreciate, like I can't deny that like people like Beyonce, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love me some Rihanna too.
Okay.
Love her to death. Oh, dude, she can tell me to work all day. I'll do it.
Rude boy.
But I mean, like, but it's like if the bigger thing is if they don't have a preference. Like, you ever hear people say, "Oh, I listen to everything."
I'm that person. Hilarious. So that's the red flag. Oh shit.
Because it's like, okay, well, let's dive deeper into that. By everything, like,
Okay, and when I say everything, I do not mean everything.
yeah, you just mean like I like a lot of, like, I have an eclectic group of music that I like. You definitely know what you don't like.
Okay, yeah.
So the biggest red flag is I've actually met a girl that she's like, "Oh, I don't like music." And I'm like, "Ooh."
Oh, that is odd. That's
like,
almost like serial killer vibes.
Yeah, it's like, so do you not like puppies, joy, anything?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, so I mean that's my thing about it, but it's just like you have to, like, it gives you a weird insight to people. Like, if like have you ever like seen those like super gothed out metalhead people?
Yeah.
Have you ever got a chance to actually hang out with them by chance?
No.
Gems. They are
Really?
absolute gems. Every one of I've met, and this is a person by person basis. You know, not everyone's the same. It's not a monolith
Valid.
of like stuff like that.
Thank you.
But they are usually some of the nicest people I've ever met. Like them,
Really?
and like like I was a social butterfly in high school. I did not sit at one lunch table at all. Like I was with my jock friends because I was like had to like make sure my team was good. I went over and hung out with my church friends. Went and hung out with like the guys in the robots club because I was like, bro, when's that Halo suit coming out where I'm like a giant, like,
hilarious. The juggernaut.
I'm looking for it, man.
Yeah.
I love that. But I mean, like, you find like those people, and like it gives you an insight to what they like, and then when you break down someone's, like, why do you like, I'm grasping at straws here, but let's say like you like there's a Beyonce song or somebody like any kind of artist that you have that you just love this song, and it's like, oh, tell me why, and it's usually tied to a moment in your life, or it's tied to some experience that you've had.
Okay.
Like, the hardest part for me with breakups is all the songs that I had during it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm like, oh, there's that one song that we went to this one place.
It reminds me of sadness.
This is like, and then I'm just cranking it, and like, why am I crying? It's like, it's all healing.
You know what's funny? Funny story about that.
Yeah.
So I went through a bad breakup. And so for the entire time of this breakup, I think this is like when The Weeknd first came out.
Oh.
And so I would just listen to The Weeknd all the time, like just in my like just solitude and just sadness. Like, let me just listen to The Weeknd. It got so bad that like now when I listen to The Weeknd, it's like I can't even like hear some of those old songs. I'm just like, it just reminds me of a bad moment. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's the thing. I feel like that's the power of music, is it takes people back to those spots, and it makes people kind of like, and if especially if like riding in the car by myself, like just listening to all types of music, it's like you got to sit there and like face your fear of like whatever that song was. Like there's this one song. It's it's called Drunk on Tuesday.
Okay.
And it's a song about like, I'm drunk on Tuesday. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't make it halfway through the week. But me and this one girl I was dating, like, it was like, because she was a server and I was a musician, so we had pretty flexible schedules and stuff like that. And I mean, I was still in sales, but it was like I would always have like gigs during the week and stuff. So it's like kind of go out there, and she, me and her get a little turned up.
Okay.
And then we'd crank that song when we got back to the house and just dance around. And it was just, I'm like,
how does that feel listening to it now?
I'm like, gotta find a new girl I can get drunk on a Tuesday with. But I mean, like, that's the best part about music, man. It takes you places, or like, and then what's weird is just, I'm a big foodie. Like,
I love food.
Like, I mean, you need it to survive.
Yes.
But
valid.
It's valid. But like, you ever have like those meals that you just like, oh, I remember I had this at grandma's house, or like, there's those things that you can eat, and you just like, I feel like a kid again.
This makes me feel like home.
Yeah, like waffle fries, always just like, those were like a thing. My mom would always get the waffle fries from Costco.
Okay.
Which I think, if I remember correctly, fact check me, Seabass.
Seabass?
Is like, they had like the distribution of like the Chick-fil-A fries and stuff, but like Chick-fil-A was hey, we're going to Chick-fil-A. It's that's the one going out meal we're having this week. Yeah, and so, like, that was just like, we did something really cool. Like, I passed my 5th grade math test, and like, we're going to Chick-fil-A today. Like, it's just like stuff like that. And I think all those things encapsulate, like, as a person and with your emotions, you'd find those ways to kind of like build your character.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like with the judging people and like what they like musically. It's not all judging. I say maybe be a little harsh, but it does give me insight to like who you are.
Okay.
So I mean,
Well, then I've got a question for you.
hit me.
So, what style property intrigues you? Because that says a lot about you. Are you more of a traditional, a modern, contemporary?
I would lean definitely away from modern. I haven't really liked modern.
Okay, interesting.
Like something that bugs me to no end for no good reason is those new garage doors that have all the windows on the side. You see, like they have like the 4 windows, like from the.
Yeah,
Hate it.
but are they real windows?
No.
Or are they the stickers?
Oh, the stickers. I'm like, get out of my face. Like it's like I hit like to me that's the same as like seeing a dude with a Honda Accord that just has like a hood scoop that does nothing. I'm like, what do you?
It's there for the look.
I mean, like not to shit on you, dude, but it's like you ain't fooling nobody. But I don't know the modern stuff because I feel like with the modern real estate look or like the modern like new builds and
Yeah.
stuff, it's so bland.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's some
Minimalistic is the
Yeah,
word.
minimalistic, and I understand, especially from a resale value,
Mhm.
you're not putting too much of your own personal taste into it,
Mhm.
because maybe you're going to try to sell the house one day,
Or maybe the minimalistic is a personal taste.
and that's fine. But it's not my taste. I love have you been to Savannah, Georgia much, or like been out
I
there?
haven't been to Savannah, Georgia much, but I think I know what you mean. Are you talking about like the wraparound porches?
Oh, I love that.
Love that too.
Love definitely a nice country home. But like if you're gonna when it comes to like cities and stuff, like talking about Philadelphia, how they have like a rich history and like you
I
can,
love the Philadelphia
it's so
real
cool.
estate. Oh my gosh.
Like
I love the way it looks. It actually, you know what's so funny? The fact that you mentioned Savannah and then Philadelphia. I went to Philadelphia for the first time, and it does kind of remind me of Savannah.
yeah.
Yeah, like it kind of reminded me of the South.
It's got a little bit of it just got that character to it.
Yeah.
And I mean I love I guess you could maybe say more contemporary like style. I just love stuff that's unique.
Okay.
Like the only thing and you can probably maybe speak on this better is just like when you have something that's historic, like a lot of places in Philadelphia and Savannah, just as those 2 examples, getting anything new built there is almost impossible.
No. No.
No.
New construction. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. It's like no, that doesn't fit. Like or like my dad, he's in Florida, and I love a lot in Florida that they have like kind of that Spanish style homes.
I
Like,
love that.
with the clay like
Yes.
shingles and stuff. I was like I fuck with that. I like this makes me feel like I'm out there,
Yeah.
just doing
Yeah.
stuff. But I mean, I just can't stand that. Like maybe I'm an old soul, so I want to like have that history thing, and I love history.
Mhm.
So like anything that kind of gives off that vibe or just like an old timey thing, like I can definitely get down with that. And then I want to get in there and just modernize the inside. Like we're definitely getting
Okay, so we do like modern a little bit.
modern.
You like the okay.
It's like so we only have the attic.
So you like the
fan?
traditional build,
Mm-hmm.
but with a modern flair.
Yeah, because I feel like that just is going to be like long lasting. Because like for me right now in my real estate goals, everything I'm looking for right now is income generating.
Okay.
Like I'm as single as a Pringle. I don't have kids. I don't have a dog.
I've got one coming on the market soon next month in Snellville. What did you call
Snell
it?
Vegas.
Snell Vegas.
Hey man, if the numbers work, it's hard. Like I don't like for instance this property I just bought. It had a landlord special.
Oh, okay.
Like absolutely awful job on all the trim, all the paint, all
Got it.
and it's just like, and of course, like the thing is, I was talking to the tenant on one side. I was asking like, how bad was? She's like, they were awful.
Oh,
like
snap.
dumped. They had like, and this was some of the stuff I'm surprised didn't get put in the disclosure about like because this, I get suspicious when I see completely renovated.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
what did you not renovate? There's something. There's no way.
There's
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like she was telling me like the people that lived there before just, which was crazy. It was It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. They had 4 kids and 2 adults living in it.
What?
Yeah.
Dang, I'd hate to be getting up in the morning getting ready.
Yes.
I'd hate to be the last one getting ready.
It's like, bro, you better wake up just to get the shower.
No, you better wake up just to lay a deuce. No,
man.
literally. So when we went to New York to visit my family, we were in my grandma's like apartment or whatever. So it was my daughter, my sister, my mom, myself, my grandmother. In this, basically, it was a 1-bedroom apartment. Basically, so like we huddled up like good old
No avoiding each
I
other.
was gonna say something. yeah. But anyways, so we huddled up and listen, I was gonna take a shower in the morning, and I was just like, listen, I'm calling dibs on the shower this morning. Don't nobody walk in there. And
Like just
freaking sister
please.
decided to freaking just relieve herself before, and I just walked into just a hot dookie.
But it's like, well, that's not. That vent is
I
not.
don't want to take a shower after you take a deuce. It's just gonna be vapor and deuce air.
Yeah, I just, man, it's insane. Like, and I mean, but the thing is, like, with me, the way I look at it, it's like right now in the stage of life or the phase of life I'm in, it's just like let's just build up the portfolio. Let's keep getting more income properties.
Yes, that is the goal. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
You got a little poof. There you go.
that's definitely the goal. Stack up as much,
Yeah.
get as many income producing properties, and then just move to DR
Yeah.
and
Dude.
live on the dollar.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's my dream, actually. I want like maybe like 5 more.
yeah. Do you have like like this 5? Like you think you're kind of like that's where you get into this phase where you're comfortable?
I think 5, I'll definitely be. Actually, you know what? No, I think after 2, I'll be comfortable.
Mhm.
5, I feel like a pro.
Yeah.
And then at 5, I'll feel comfortable enough to start planning my move. Like, I'm about to just be out here in Colombia, wherever the dollar gets me the furthest. I might be in Thailand.
Dude, I've heard a lot about Thailand when it comes to like how much the dollar goes out there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like there's always like I love this. I heard a phrase that I've kind of stuck by. There are no solutions. There's only trade-offs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like Thailand's super cheap. It's like you can get a great spot and have all the like the first world amenities you need. But then it's like there's trade-offs. You might have to like do some like kind of finagling with the locals. Things like that. Just some things you got to get accustomed to.
Yeah, I might stick with my Spanish countries then, since I'm
Yeah.
like one foot ahead. I know the language.
Have you ever thought about because I went to Eastern Europe. I went to Kosovo.
Okay.
Back in college, and the guy was talking about like it was super beautiful. It was so beautiful, like Kosovo, such a great place. Super great people.
Okay.
It's very close to Albania,
Okay.
and
Oh.
yeah, and like the snow-capped hills. We went up on this one mountain on a tractor, like just buckle down. We're riding in the back of this dude's tractor.
No way.
And it was all the guys. All the
Yeah.
guys were in the tractor. The
Yeah.
girls got the 6-wheel like
Yeah.
G-Wagon that's like smooth ride up the hill. We're hanging on for dear life. But we get
Yeah.
to the top of this mountain, and our guy there, Barat, shout out Barat, love you man, hope you're doing well. Kosovo Project. He had a friend that had a cabin on the top of this mountain. It was awesome, and he's like, Jared, you could buy this. 3,000 American. I was like, $3,000 to buy this property?
No way.
And
It's
he's
real.
Like, and he's like, you could just do it, do the Airbnb. I was like,
You know what?
I was
Where
like-
do I sign?
I was like, you know what? I did have a good commission check last month. So
Yeah.
But I would love to like look into that because like buying properties in America is its own whole thing. But I'm like, dude, there's people that actually do that where they go buy
Yeah.
stuff and like you said, like the Spanish countries. Like my dad was talking about there was a place in Mexico.
Mhm.
I want to say it was not Cozumel. It was one of the more kind of touristy but not touristy places.
Mhm.
People kind of go retire there. It might have
Okay.
been Cozumel, but I was just like, man,
Oh, in Mexico?
yeah,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
It's like in the middle of Mexico. Someone
Mhm.
told me about it. They say they don't season their food there.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, for Mexico? Like, what the heck?
Come
no
on,
way.
man. It's like, what are you, white people?
They're Mexicanos. No seasoning.
I mean, dude, but there's so many cool places I'd love to live in, like or have like a vacation home. Are you more like you said? You're more like in the Spanish-speaking like countries, like you more
I
feel that
feel
vibe?
like I feel that vibe. I would like honestly like what my goal is to like move back to DR eventually and like live off of that.
Yeah.
When my grandfather passed, he left us like a lot of land. I mean mountaintops. I mean
Ooh.
more than just a few acres, more than a lot of acres.
Yeah.
A lot of land. So I want to go back there, and I've got some family members that are thinking about, either starting like a lemon company,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I was thinking about doing that, or my other place that I would consider that's not too Spanish speaking, but it's got like a Spanish flair.
Yeah.
But the dollar there is really like $1.50.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm intrigued.
So not Cozumel, Cayman Islands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great money laundering place.
Hey man, it's like I ain't doing anything illegal. And I'm not trying to say don't pay your taxes, but avoid as many of them as you can.
Okay.
If you're gonna work a system over that's working us over constantly.
All the time. Let's
Like-
really talk about that sales tax.
Well, even though, like, I mean, like, you talk about commissions
Property
and stuff like that.
tax. Yeah.
I mean, like, the 3 to 6% that goes into the most real estate deals, it's like, and then, like, you give stuff to your
Yeah.
broker. And
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
get
talk
into
about
it.
the commission in real estate, because it's a lot of people think, you know, in real estate, you got this big fat commission and this is what happens. And while that may be the case for, you know, it could be the case. It has been the case depending on the number, you know, the price point that you sell. But typically speaking, if an agent's working for you and they're selling your property and they're saying, "Hey, my commission's 6%," they are not getting the total at the 6%.
Not even close.
Okay, that 6% gets divided 3 and 3, so half and half on a typical day. One half goes to whoever's representing the buyer. The other half goes to whoever's representing the property or the seller. After that, that 3% also gets divided another little bit, okay? Because then, you know, we've got our lovely brokers, and we've got to pay them their percentage, you know?
Yeah, they get their cut.
A typical, like for a starting agent, typically speaking, the split is 70-30. So what that means is typically you receive 70% of the commission, the broker receives 30. That's typically what you start off
Okay,
at.
I was worried for a second it was going to be the other way around.
No,
I was like, dang.
You get nothing.
I was like, that's scraps.
No, yeah, that would be literally scraps. Yeah, for sure. But I say that to say sometimes there are houses that are for sale where that agent isn't even paying a full 3%. They may just pay you 2%.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens because maybe on the back end the seller's like, well, I'm not paying 6%. I'll do 4.5 or 5, and you figure out the rest. And then, you know. So with that being said, a portion of it goes to the broker. You receive the other portion. And then there are what we call like office fees, other fees like driving, mileage, time, things like that you don't automatically pay for, but you're paying for. So like a percentage of that is also going towards those things. And then you receive the rest.
And then whatever's left over.
Whatever's left over, that $5, and you see that.
A lot of people, I feel like they don't understand how, like, unless you've bought or sold or been in like some aspect of that, like, you know, I mean, closings can take 30 days at best.
Yeah.
And
I mean, okay, so it's different, right? Because I've had closings where it's like I'm representing an investor, right?
Yeah.
And like they're super solid. They know what they want. They've got their ducks in a row. They're ready. Like if they find a property, like they're like 5 days and we're done. Those are like our bread and butter, typically speaking, is working for investors like yourself. Like you're an investor now. Hey.
Putting that on my dating bio.
Boop. There you go. Yeah. Landlord. Lord of the land.
It's happening.
So they typically like no, they'll run the numbers. Like there's not really much work that an agent would have to do for investors, because typically they'll say like, oh, I know that this we'll have to invest 40,000 into this, and then after that it'll be valued this, whatever. We offer to help with those numbers, but typically they'll look at a property and they know. And so that can close within a week. Sometimes I've had that happen.
Yeah.
I've had a closing as soon as 3 days because they knew it and they wanted to proceed.
And they have everything, like you said, most
they're already, yeah.
Yeah, like this is just something I've learned is like guys and girls, anybody that's trying to do this thing, like
have your ducks in a row.
Get pre-approved. Get everything ready to
Talk
go.
to a lender, even if you're thinking about it in 2 years.
Yeah.
Talk to them today.
And like get it just set up to where you know it, because like on this last deal I did, like I found a great property. I was ready to do it, and I was like, just like this is gonna it's gonna cash flow. This all makes sense. I've got the capital for it, so it's like everything's backed up. Like what's and then like the lender was the kind of the issue where he was like, I think either he just.
Who the heck was? I'm about to call Jamai. You know what? We're both just gonna tag team and just Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
And WWEEU.
Fair enough. I
Okay.
deserved it.
But anyways, continue. Sorry.
But it was just like I think what happened is he was expecting us to do like, you know, he saw that we could probably do it in cash, and then he was like, well, why don't you just do it in cash and refinance with me? I was like, why don't you just do your job?
And why don't you tell me what to do?
And then like on top of that, he was like, oh, we didn't know about all these other properties that you had for income. I was like.
What does that have to do with anything?
I was like, you're just making that sound like it's a problem. That should only make my offer stronger. And he's like, well, we got to do. And he kept giving me the line about, well, we have all these new guidelines since 2007. I was like, 2000.
Oh, there are guidelines.
I was like, dude, 2007. Like, it's 2023. Like, you're just like, these aren't new ones. Like, I was just, Yeah, no, I mean the biggest amount of crow I've had to eat for this is because I'm like I just wanted to do it by myself. Let my pride get in the way, and I was just like I'm just going to do it. I don't want to. Just do
I'm
it.
so proud of you, Jared.
Thank you.
I love that.
I was like,
I want to be like you when I grow up.
That's
oh,
what we all tell Dad.
oh my God. Listen here, Bubba. But yeah, I mean, it's just like that was the biggest hurdle. And then on top of that, I think they dropped the ball because he didn't take into account that it was getting close to Thanksgiving. And so
The days are different close to Thanksgiving
and
or
the
the
banks,
holidays.
and
yeah.
they're like, and everyone's taking all their vacations and
Yes.
stuff. And so originally we're supposed to close on like the 17th.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And so I went and got a U-Haul. I was like ready to go. I was like,
Oh, snap.
And I was like, so everything's a done deal. And he's like, oh, I don't know why you thought it was a done deal. I said it was gonna be tough to close on the 17th. I was like, dude, I got a freaking U-Haul full of stuff that I'm paying for right now. Like,
yeah.
and he's like, we'll do it on the 23rd. I'm like, the day before. I was like, you expect me to believe that the day before Thanksgiving we're gonna close?
And probably not. If it's not
Yeah.
already scheduled with the attorney, they probably have like 1,000 closings.
Exactly. So I mean, later on, like we got it closed just at the end of November, like, and it's fine.
So that's typical, right? Like
Mhm.
for single family residents, like first time home buyers, things like that, it's typical for like the closing date to be delayed or to be pushed back or sometimes pushed forward.
Yeah.
Typically speaking, like you said, 30 days
It's kind of like a
is
workable-
still short.
Yeah.
45 days is the average. And then sometimes it takes like 3 months depending on the seller. Like let's say the seller may have a lot of stuff in their house, it's a large house, and they may need another month after closing. So you may not move in until, a month after closing,
Or like-
which was my case with my house.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too is like when you like people think that you're in real estate, you must be like just rolling in cash all day.
It's not the case.
It's like, well, yeah, but it's like I might get that like that check. You get maybe like there's some people that work and they get like a commission check every month. Like that was my experience in sales. And then when it came to like you think about that, okay, well that is you're literally the majority. Like there's no hourly.
Yeah.
There's only expenses like you're saying, gas,
Yeah.
driving, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't people don't take into account. It's like, no, I had to like work with this buyer
Yeah.
or the seller for like 45 days.
Oh,
and
well, that's not even like that's short.
Yeah.
That's like under contract. That doesn't even
It's
include the number of
the
houses,
showings, everything
the
else.
showings. I mean, on a day, like for serious buyers, sometimes I've shown up to 7 houses in one day.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like a whole afternoon of showing. And then from all of those 7 houses, they may not even like one of them. So we may, like, I have clients that I've been working with for about 8 or 9 months because they're very specific in what they're looking for. And they're just not, some people can see a house and can see past the clutter or maybe can see past some of the dated things like in the kitchen. Like, let's say it doesn't have granite countertops, but they can see past it like, hey, I can create a large island here. I can put down like maybe it might be an additional 20 to 30,000, but I can see the vision.
Yeah. That's a huge part of it.
However, there's some buyers that they might walk into a house and they're like, whoa, all these things on the wall, we're walking out of here because I can't. It's too much.
Exactly. I mean, that's one thing. Props to my mom. She gave me that. She's like, hey, don't imagine your stuff in here. Don't imagine their stuff.
Yes.
Imagine it as best you can. Just completely cleared out.
That's great advice from mom.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I almost cringe at any like family member / friend advice when it comes to real estate because I'm always like, oh, they're gonna say something just
He's gonna blow
outdated
this up.
or just dumb or just they didn't do real estate 20 years ago. But that's good advice.
I mean,
I approve that message.
yeah, because a lot of times, I mean, in the best case scenario as a buyer, if you can have the place completely vacant, that's a great start.
Great.
But that's not always the case.
It's rarely the case.
Yeah. And I mean, but like that goes into like you put all that work in, like, and like you said before, that 45-day average is under contract.
Yeah.
Then there's all the stuff that goes before it. And so if you're working with multiple clients at once and you're just trying to like get these things to the closing table, it's like, yeah, someone
Google Calendar is my best friend.
Oh man.
God bless it.
God bless it. I can't wait for the AI that's going to take over for me so I can just say, Google, can you do this, this, and this? And
Oh
it's just
my
like,
God. Speaking of, so at this $5 million Brokers Open I was at, or was it at that? Yeah, it was. They had this feature in one of the bathrooms, and it's literally like it looks like a ceiling fan, like the fan thing.
like
not the ceiling fan, but the vented fan. Yeah. And but it's like AI or something. It talks to you. I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm like, why do you, why did they use what did they use this for?
Like, I mean,
It talks to you. It's literally right above the toilet.
What does it say?
You're sitting on the toilet, and it wasn't connected to whatever app, but I
Yeah.
assume it says like, "Welcome, Jared. Are we taking a number 2 or number 1? Do you want a soundtrack for this?" But yeah, it's very interactive. Yeah.
Oh my.
Odd.
That
but
makes
kinda
me cringe a little bit.
So you can just call out Alexa, play whatever.
Yeah. Alexa, I'm not sure if this is food poisoning or what.
But Alexa, we're out of TP.
Add TP to the Amazon shopping list.
No, literally.
I mean, dude, I think there's a lot of I'm not a big fan of the smart home stuff.
Some of it is creepy.
It's just I mean
Or you hear that story about that couple that had Amazon Alexa was like sending recordings of their arguments to their friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some AI is a little too smart. Like
I mean, it's like, dude, I remember one Amazon story, like they had like the Echo thing at the house.
yeah.
And it was either one of the spouses murdered the other one.
Oh.
And the police were like, "Oh, you got that? Let's just contact Amazon to get the recordings." And they're like, "What do you mean? It's not recording all the time. It's always listening."
Shut the front door. I disconnected my Google Home for a while just after that story that I heard. Not that one, but
Yeah,
the
the
one
one you're
about
talking
the
about, yeah.
I was kind of freaked out. But also they're now saying that even your TV can use its Wi-Fi to see heat signals of where everyone is.
Yeah.
And
There's
like-
a kind of a how do I put this politely? There's a very testosterone-filled podcast that I enjoy.
what is that?
It's
The
the
Andrew Tate?
Not that much. Not that much. You broke? What are you doing to do? You brokey? No, I'm just. This one hit Sean Ryan's podcast.
Okay, haven't
he's a
heard about it.
former special operations
Okay.
military guy,
Oh.
but he brings in these. He's had a couple guys in that have talked about specifically the way that technology is growing in the military field.
Mhm.
And there's even like you needed your phone charger cord earlier. There's a phone charging cord that you can have that has a microchip in it. And then when you plug it up to the power sources, and it doesn't even have to be plugged in, it could just use your phone battery,
Uh-huh.
and it will transmit all your phone data. And they use this like CIA, NSA stuff to like, oh, we'll just put these in these like places, and like it will get around. So it's like, I mean, there's just such crazy stories, and I love conspiracy theories for the fun of talking about them.
Yeah.
But don't
I love conspiracies, but only because I like to spout out information that's just not right. Like flat Earth theory. Oh, I love talking about it because none of it. Like I'm confident about being correct, but I'm gonna spout it out.
Oh yeah, or just like there's like Seabass is one of my favorite argumentative people. I like
So
me.
fun.
I mean, you just love getting me mad.
Yes, very much, very much.
But like I'll joke around with like a couple of our other friends, and I'm like, dude, I love this show. I want to get Josh into it. Well, tell him you hate it.
Oh God.
And then he'll just be like, "Well, no, dude, this is actually a really good show because." And I'm like, "Oh, is it?" That's how you got me into One Piece.
I was like, when
You
did
didn't
this
like
happen to
One
me?
Piece?
No. I was I
I'm
love
so
One
glad.
Piece.
Someone's on my side.
Why were you against One Piece?
I was trying to finish college, and I was like, I do not have the time. And he's like, just get through the first like arc. Just get through like Arlong.
He's one of those that it was too much. It was too long for him, and then I reminded him that
You've
all the
got-
TV shows have 9, 10, 12 seasons,
Yeah.
hour-long episodes, and those
Yeah.
end up being just as much time.
And then I got emotionally invested.
Yeah.
And then I was like watching on my phone on the treadmill,
And
watching
that's hard
it.
to do.
No, when you got a good like anime, man, it's like you don't want to stop. You
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
Like,
It's just-
you're
I-
taking it
I
everywhere.
I couldn't
Yeah.
stop. I mean, during the pandemic, I rewatched Naruto. Like, have you seen that one or?
I'm not a fan of. Okay, y'all are gonna hate me.
No, we're not.
I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. There, I've said it. Mic
Awesome.
drop.
It's like
Awesome.
I was like, you,
Oh,
was about to say,
okay,
y'all-
I'm wearing a
five.
Dragon Ball shirt, but I will still say that it's not the greatest. by
That's
any
how I.
means.
Yeah, I
the nostalgia
tried.
factor plays a lot into it
Yes.
for me.
Okay, nostalgia I get, like, 'cause I can watch like a little bit of it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I remember it. Clip next, you know.
But yeah, I
just
mean,
like, yeah.
JJK, watch that one. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen, yeah, I've watched that one.
He got me into that one too. He was like, dude, trust me, it's got a lot of fight scenes. Because I'm like, my friend Tyler, I'll give him props. He's like, Jared, you are the definition of a meathead. And I was like,
That's so
please
funny.
define what a meathead is. He's like, you're unnecessarily strong for what you do. You're a musician. You're in sales. Why do you need to bench 300 pounds? I'm like, because it's fun.
That's so funny. That reminds me of Jemai.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh my
dude.
gosh, you almost killed me at the gym. I wanted to throw up.
Me and him, it was year to the date. We went and we would have our workout sessions, and there was one that we were like, oh, we're gonna go real hard for like New Year's. We're gonna
Yeah.
puke, just absolutely puked.
No, literally. But honestly, Jemai's a good person to go to the gym because you will think you can't do 180 by yourself. You'll go with Jemai and you're like at 290. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, and
this
he's
is
just
my max.
and he is an absolute just gem of a human being, like a national
Love
treasure.
him.
Like
He is.
he needs Secret Service just to make sure nothing ever
I
happens
want to put him
him.
in a box and just like
Big
just
box.
keep him padded and just taken care of, you know.
Well, and the best part, like hanging out with him and stuff, like when we went to Dragon Con and
Oh,
stuff.
so much fun.
Oh, like, I'm so sad I missed this year.
I'm sad I missed this year too. Actually,
Okay.
I had every single plan to go this year and I didn't. But next year,
It's happening.
and I'm planning my costume now.
What are you gonna go as? What are you thinking?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I bought everything to be what's her name? I want to say it's Danielle from Seven Deadly Sins. No,
Ooh, you watched that?
Seven Deadly Sins. Who's the giant girl? What's her name?
Immediately spring to Helga.
No, not Helga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just have to look.
Yeah.
It up.
Yeah, look it up. The giant. I want to say her name starts with a D.
I think so as well.
Dana, or I think it's Dana.
That sounds right.
I think it's Dana.
But no offense, but you are a petite woman. Like you.
Hilarious.
Like it's like.
I'm not tall, but I can still be cool like
Oh, yeah.
her. You
No, I'm
know?
definitely saying
I
like you.
try.
Like you can definitely rock whatever look you got. I know you can. I know you got the
Boom.
fashion sense for
Hold
it.
on now. Hold on.
Hold
I'm
on.
Definitely rocking.
Oh, it's going.
Boom.
She's got a bright future on. That's why she's wearing shades.
You know, it's too
It is
right.
Diane, by the way.
Diane. Oh.
Diane. Oh, okay, you see, I was so close. Diane.
But yeah, but you're gonna. It's like so we're trying to plan it out.
Well, okay, so here's
Yeah.
the thing. So the time that we went, I
Mhm.
ran into. I don't know if you remember the girls that dressed up as like mermaids or whatever.
Yeah.
So they gave me a business card and I kept it, and it's this company that actually does costume rentals just for this event. So I was like, what the heck? That's such a great idea because
Yeah.
how many people really keep the $100, costume or however much they invest in creating one?
Yeah.
What do you do with it afterwards? It's a one night thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a.
So if you
prom
can
dress
rent
or-
one for a night and not have to like worry about putting in months of work into creating this outfit,
Yeah,
deal.
dude.
And it's great quality.
That's
That's where they got their fit from.
write that down. We need to get that card from her. We need to get that information.
Yeah, I'll have to track it down. I put it somewhere. I know I saved it.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like we were talking about it. What we're trying to do is get a hotel. We're trying to do like me
Yeah.
and him already bought our tickets. Like,
Okay.
we're doing the whole.
Snap, a step above me.
Well, give props to Jemai again. He was like, "Hey, just FYI, this is the last day you can buy your tickets for like $75." And it was like
wow. He didn't send me that message, Jemai.
sorry, buddy. She's coming after you. But it was just like I was like, dude, this would be such a great because I'm trying to get more in like planning is everything for
Yeah,
me because
yeah.
it's like between bookings, band practice,
So busy.
studio sessions, all the stuff.
Yeah.
And musicians, I don't know if you had that premise that like when someone says, "Oh, hey, I'm a musician,"
No.
you don't think of them as a person that's got everything scheduled. Like they're very
hilarious.
like
Yeah, it definitely gives free spirit.
free spirit is the best way to put
Do you
it.
ever go to the Beltline?
Yeah, I love the Beltline.
I would love to see you perform on the Beltline.
Oh, dude, I love New Realm. There's
Okay.
I love that place. Just
Is that place next to Lady Bird?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, the restaurant and everything.
Okay, and it's outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah, there's-
perfect. I love that place.
So many places on the Beltline I'd love to play at, and I mean, for me, it was really cool. I was trying to do the Atlanta Field Day.
What does that mean?
Excuse me. Atlanta Field Day was the it's a singles group basically.
Okay.
But it's you
Oh,
sign
wow.
up.
Subscribed.
Yeah, it's like it's a great place to meet people and everything.
Really? What type of people?
Definitely like it's post college age, like the 24 and after kind
Oh,
of
too
thing.
young for me.
I know I'm getting there too, where I'm like, so you just finished college? Okay, well, what do you?
No, listen, I'm like meeting people 25. I'm like, oh, I remember that age. And I'm only like just a few years older than that, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the look.
My 30s is creeping.
The funny part is there's something as a musician. Like when I would go to like these, because the thing about that group is they do it where it's co-ed, like at field day events. So you got volleyball, you got
Okay.
kickball and everything, and then
Yo, sister.
my sister's calling me. I'll have to call you back, my sister. I love you, my twin sister.
Love your sister. You have a twin sister?
Oh yeah, she's the best.
Oh my God, why am I just learning this about you?
She's in her own world, man. She's doing so much out there, just absolutely killing it.
Okay.
So I mean, it's like me and her, like we were like, she's down in Athens and stuff. She's like, hey, like hit me up later, and like I was like, I got some stuff I got to get done, but it's like as soon as like but me and her, we have a great relationship, so we
Okay.
try to always call, talk as much as we can, make sure like we have a siblings group chat,
Okay.
like between her, my cousin, and my other sister. But I mean, like this, the Beltline group, I think it's still going on, but it's really nice that you can meet people, and it's not based around drinking and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just, it's like you want to, well, people do drink and then try to play kickball, volleyball, and it's hilarious. But
Kickball.
oh yeah,
I haven't heard of kickball in such a long
ever
time.
heard of California kickball?
No, what is that?
It's where you play with you have to bounce the ball instead of roll it, and you have like a baseball bat, and you hit instead of kicking it, you hit it, and here's the best part. Is you run the opposite way around the bases.
That's so weird and oddly confusing.
Oh,
Why?
Because like if you grew up like playing softball, baseball, any like the normal way, you hit it and you take off towards what in this game is third base. So you go oh no oh, and so you're like it takes like 2 or 3
Okay,
innings.
so speaking of Savannah, have you
Yeah.
heard of the Savannah banana?
Yes, the Savannah Bananas,
So
baby.
why am I just now hearing about it? Honestly, my sister in frickin' Philadelphia told me about it, and I've been in Georgia since '03.
Well, I think
What
it's
did Jemai do down there?
yeah.
Oh, did Jemai go down there?
No, it's
Jemai should.
no. If he's when he's on the podcast, he is affectionately known as Banana Man. He shows up in a banana costume.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's like he plays the character, and it's great because he's when he has. Understandably, when I told my friends, "Hey, I'm starting a podcast," they're like, "Just go to therapy," and I'm like, "No."
Hilarious. Not everyone needs to hear your opinion on everything.
Yeah, it's like
That's what I hear. I'm just
one-
like, you know what? You're gonna hear it today.
yeah, it's like one more white guy telling his opinion out in the world. That's what we need.
Racist.
Sorry, did I do a racist? But he dresses up as a banana, and he's an absolute great addition. But I believe the Savannah Bananas, they're more like a Harlem Globetrotters kind of thing. They're
Okay.
entertaining, and I mean they do a bunch of crazy stuff. And it was actually to save, I believe the like one of the feeder leagues, like the organizations.
Okay.
So it all like ties back into like kind of helping helping people get into professional sports. But they're hilarious, and maybe you hadn't heard of it because
I didn't, but she showed me all these videos. I'm like, this place is cool. Like, we gotta go. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm buying your ticket, my niece's tickets, and we're going down.
getting after it. I mean, dude, they're top notch, and it seems like such a wholesome thing too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you and your daughter definitely probably go there, and
Yes,
like,
Ayla would love it.
oh my god, and then just like there's so many things with them. I love seeing a completely original idea that's like, yeah, let's play baseball on stilts.
No, literally, because what the heck? I know, yeah,
Wait,
that
what?
face. Yeah. Look it up right now.
Yeah, dude.
Savannah
Banana highlights,
Yeah.
and then they do all the TikTok dances, and then I'm like,
Can I get out here and do it?
I mean, dude, get after it, man. Like, there's just so many things like with that, but I mean, oh, I definitely would recommend it. I've only seen videos, but I'm definitely with you. I would, if next time I get the chance, or I say get the chance, I need to take the initiative.
Just
Say,
take the freaking initiative.
buy that ticket.
Buy it now. Let's halt this right now and just buy it.
I just can't because Seabass is he played baseball a lot and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
like me and him will like start watching Braves games and stuff. He's like, what the heck? Why did they do that? It was so stupid. I'm
I
like,
love
hate it.
watching. I love watching baseball. I love watching the Braves. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I love it. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
one of the ones I don't understand, but I'll enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
Football, I can't. I don't enjoy watching it, and I still don't know what's going on. But I'll scream when everyone else screams. I'll gauge the audience.
That is half the battle. It's just knowing that, like, I mean, like crowd noise and like any like
I'm adding to it.
Like, well, it's crazy. I used to play on the offensive line, the guys that push the other fat kids around. I was one of the fat kids.
Hilarious.
And like we just like beat each other up. And when you're on offense and trying to like pass the ball, like it's insane when you get into a place that's full of like the other team's like fans and or the school at that point because no way I went pro. I'm too short. Like,
Hilarious.
Short king, happy about it.
Short kings are great.
Did you also know there's no such thing as a 5'11" man? No man is going to say he's 5'11". We're going to fight for that extra inch. We're going to lie about it.
Hilarious. Really?
They do not exist.
So what? So what do you say? 5'12"?
No, you just man up and say that you're 5'10" at best, or you're 6 foot, and you like and I've seen a lot of girls. They're smart. They like put that piece of tape over the door that's at 6 foot, so when they come over,
Are you serious?
yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's not me. That thing up there, no, I'm 5'10" on a good day.
Wait, time out. Wait, we got to go back to this. Girls put a tape on to make sure there's that people.
Yeah, on the door frame, they'll just like take the tape measure out. Go
Is that like a college thing?
It's definitely a immature woman thing. It's
Oh, okay. I was like,
women
there's
of-
just no way.
women of class and like understanding,
elegance,
and
stature. I don't know.
oh yeah, dude. But you know what's another funny thing? Like you talking about like you meet those guys that are like 25 and you're like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah.
There's-
Even some coworkers, I'm like, oh, you're 25, you're 26. I love you.
It's like, tell me what you think about the world.
What do you think right now? It's gonna get worse.
There's something
Welcome
that
to the boomers.
oh yeah, welcome to I'm only 29, Josh. Chill.
Well, that's just everyone that's over 25. You just become a boomer,
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
a boomer. It's
it's-
better than a millennial, I feel like.
it's you say
I'm
that.
getting offended by the millennial word.
Well, that's like I was born in '94, so I'm like right there on the kind of the tail end of
Simesies.
like the millennial-ish age, and I'm
I
like,
don't identify as a millennial.
and it's like I'm like, guys, like no, like you're getting us mixed up with the Gen Zers and the kids
Yeah.
that ate Tide Pods. Like we weren't that. We're not that.
Literally, no, they're a different breed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just coming to confirm.
Yeah, it's like definitely like weird. And I got
They never
friends.
saw a cassette tape.
They never,
Yeah.
dude. Well, and we gotta
You
also.
didn't see the world evolutionize.
Did you ever have to hang up the phone so you could like use the internet? You don't even know that. You don't even know about the DSL life.
Oh my gosh. My mom used to just disconnect the phone cord from her room and I'd be talking downstairs like, did you hear that? Hello?
Or
Hello?
like, do you have siblings? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get your sister.
Yeah,
and
but I was the oldest and then
Mm.
my other two siblings did not care to talk to anyone on the phone. So like it was never a problem. I was the problem though. My parents were sick of me being on the phone was the problem.
I mean, but it's like
Or like, oh my gosh, okay, so because I was the oldest, I would have to watch my brother and sister, and of course the rule is if our parents aren't home, we are not allowed to go outside. But my house was right in the cul-de-sac. All the kids would always play right outside my house. I would literally hear them with the basketball coming down the street before, you know.
it's coming.
So I know it's coming. So it's hilarious as my parents would call in to check to make sure on the house phone that we're at home, right? So little me, I came up with like this, like, you know, I'm like, let me just test the phone and see how far outside I could go, and it still works, and it worked all the way around the cul-de-sac. So we're like outside and everything, and
Oh, heck
I'm like, yeah, we're playing outside. My parents are at work, you know,
yeah.
whatever. My mom calls in to check on us. I'm all the way on the other side of the cul-de-sac, but I could
like,
still
"We're
answer. Yeah,
fine."
we're fine. We're inside.
It's like that was a foul. I mean, we're fine.
Yeah. Well, bad thing is what happened is that one of those days, they were playing basketball in the cul-de-sac, and my sister, I think she ran. I don't remember for what, but like ran into one of the other players
Oh,
who was
no.
a lot older, taller than her. And I think that maybe it was like right after he dunked or something. Long story short, she had like this huge injury. Like it was not something that we could just hide or pretend like didn't happen. You know, like don't cry, don't tell mom.
Yeah, don't-
So literally, my mom found out that like I broke the rules and like was outside, and
Oh,
then my
God.
sister got hurt on account of it. So it was really bad.
That
It
was a
just really
badass
bad.
whooping,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
So hey.
What's up, Shaky?
So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, being the youngest, it was one of those things where I was like, my sisters and stuff. Like, I have two sisters, and I was the youngest boy, and the only son. And so, like, the best part about it was that, oh, cool, my sister's got friends.
Ooh, are
And
they hot?
Most of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, all right.
And I was like, hey, what's up? You know, oh, yeah, you girls need anything? Need some snacks or anything? I was always like, and I feel like there's something about like when you're the only son and you have sisters, you get such a unique insight to the female aura and stuff. And it's like you realize, oh my God, you are just as crazy and wild in your own unique way, and you just hide it so much better.
That's such an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's credible like insight to it, to where it's like you understand. It's like, and having a twin sister was really unique for me.
Because
Same age, she's going through the same phase of life that we're all going through, and like I
did you
can.
date any of your sister's friends? Okay. All right.
Maybe,
Will not
maybe not.
confirm. Will not deny.
Can't
Got it.
deny, can't confirm.
Okay.
But like, I mean, it was just one of those things where it's like you kind of see it's like, oh, like you're going through this. Like like, one of the big sibling rivalries with my twin sister was I had to get a better score on my driver's license test.
That's hilarious.
Did not succeed. She beat me by a whole 3 or 4 points, and still
What
holds it.
the heck?
I mean, but it was one of those things. You
Yeah.
want to do that, but it's like I was worried about like getting into like we moved into the Brookwood district in 6th grade. So
Okay.
we left all of our elementary school friends behind.
Aw.
And that was one of the kind of cool bonding moments. We kind of, me and my sister Jenna, we're like back to back. It's like, I got you.
I
we got.
love that.
And so we became really close. And then,
I love that.
and then I tried to date all of her friends. And then,
And then she's like, no, sorry.
oh, but dude, she watched out for me so many times because like she's like, you do not want to date Brittany. She's
Okay.
a
Ooh.
psycho.
Brittany is Britney Spears psycho.
Yeah, like legit. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, or like, there's just so many things that they would do just to kind of like mess with me. And it's like, you know, hey Jared, here's your rash ointment. And it's just a thing of neoprene or like.
That's what your sister would
Neosporin.
say?
Like, yeah, it's just Neosporin. And
I love that. You know why I say that this is an interesting perspective? Because, like, so I'm the oldest, then I have my brother who's the middle child, and then my sister who's the youngest.
yeah.
And so my brother actually passed away in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always like think like, oh, who would he be? Like, how close would we be? Like, you know, he'd probably be like around 26 now if he was still here. And I'm like, man, I just like wonder like what he thought of like being, you know, raised in a house with me and my sister. And then also like I was that older sister. Like I loved terrorizing my brother, like in a sisterly way, not in a like bully way. But I mean, there were some times like one time he left his Facebook logged in.
That's dangerous.
So yeah, that was dangerous. So of course I did my sister snooping, and I'm snooping and everything, and I find out like this is like right. So he was like in 9th grade as I was in 11th grade, I think it was, or maybe in 12th grade, and he was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And so I'm snooping through his messages on Facebook, and I see this message from this girl, and I'm like, wait a second, does he have a girlfriend? So I'm like reading through the messages, and like he was like around 15 at the time. And so just to get a visual of my brother was super tall, lanky, like he looked like he should be on in a sports team, basketball or something. He never liked any sports.
Yeah.
He was more of a gamer, and like he wasn't like a play like boy, or like, you know, like
He wasn't a player, but he was.
he wasn't a player. He was just like nerdy and like, you know, gamer and stuff. A sweet guy, a sweetie pie, right? And so I'm reading these messages, and this girl's like, why aren't you holding my hand in the hallways? Like, why don't you kiss me? And I'm like, what? Who is this whore? I'm like, what is going on? Like, who is pressuring my brother into these things? You know, so I'm like looking at the profile, looking at this girl, and then of course, like, I've got to let my brother know that I found out these things. Like,
I'm
hey,
your messages just happened to scroll while I was looking at your laptop. It just, well, I didn't look. It just happened to be there, and I glanced
and then
at it.
Just and so I'm like, who the heck is Maria?
Oh my god!
Introduce me to Maria. And so yeah, that was like a new thing. We would terrorize him in the hallways of high school. Like, we're like, Frankenbeans, Frankenstein. You know?
Oh my god!
His name was Franklin.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, like that's the thing of like with my sisters, they help me kind of see through some of the charades that girls would play, and they're like, because you know, there's like, oh no, she's saying that or doing this because, and I was like, oh, so she doesn't like me? She's like, no, she's just using you. And I was like, I'm okay with it. It was like, I'm just kidding. But I mean, like you look at like the way like. For me, one thing I love to hear when I meet someone new that I'm hopefully interested in like, you know, romantic way, is it's always a plus if she's got brothers.
Okay.
Because then she'll realize how dumb and Neanderthalic we can be.
That part.
Like, do you remember Joey? He was kind of in the band with me and stuff. I don't know if like we ever our friend groups.
Marching band? That was part of the marching band.
The Trombley Bay band, like the rock group.
So
he just bought a house in Watkinsville. I know, right? Hey, they're going to know after today. They're going to learn. They're going to learn today. But
right now that you're in the building, can you co-sign?
So, but like, his wife and she, no brothers, and me and him, just two dudes that love each other. Like, we're just absolutely like bros. And there's a bunch of boxes and like styrofoam around, and so without a word, I picked up a piece of styrofoam that was like for one of the appliances, and I was like, oh, 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 oh. And I just held it up, and he's holding the screwdriver in his hand, and he goes, oh, it tosses it, and it, by the grace of God.
Oh my god, that sounds dangerous. What the heck?
Oh, it's very dangerous. And like his wife is just like, what is wrong with you two? And it's like we're just two dudes, like just being
What in
dudes.
the caveman is going on?
Yeah, and like he threw it through, and we had just finished painting the walls,
Oh my
wood panels,
gosh.
and I'm holding it, and it goes through the styrofoam, and by the grace of God, it went straight into a box,
Okay.
inches away from the wall.
I was gonna say.
And his wife was like, Jared, I know you're one of Joey's friends, and I don't want to sound bossy. And I'm like, nope, my bad. I was in the wrong. That was my bad. But like finding a girl that has a brother, or like it has at least a brother, like the guy best friend. But like
is that a red flag?
it can be. Some people put a hard red flag on it.
Uh-huh.
It's like
I feel like for me, if there's like a guy that has a bunch of girl friends, I feel like that's a red flag.
yeah, those are backups.
Yeah, because I'm like, what the heck is going on?
They're on the
here?
bench. They're not in the game
Yeah.
yet, but they're on the bench.
Yeah, really? Is that a thing?
I mean, it
Are
is
you
for me.
confirming?
I'm just saying I can only speak of my personal preferences and
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, Jared!
What? I'm very upfront about it. It's
Sea
like
bass?
Sorry.
I know what. The truth has come out, ladies.
well, the thing is, if it's a like, for instance, like with real estate and you,
Okay.
like, not only are you a beautiful woman, let's just
Okay.
get that out of the way.
Period.
To like get the caveman brain to kind of go like, hey, look, she's got a great opportunity to buy a property that's going to make you a lot of money, things like that, and you need to like, just focus on the business side of it.
Focus on the business.
I'm just saying, like, it's silly for guys to pretend like, oh, why are you just friends with this beautiful girl? Like, okay, yeah, she's awesome. She's got a great personality. Wouldn't you want like of that as like a partner? Like, that's the thing. It's hard for me to qualify like a woman that's like got all those great features and just be like, why wouldn't I try to go after that? Like,
Okay.
so for me, like, I just know it's like you got to separate it. Put like guys. Have you heard that thing? Guys' brains are like boxes, and women's brains are like. I'm gonna trash this one.
Oh
You're
god.
on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
because
a-
what's
Clue.
going on?
Well, like
I
girls
bet.
are really good about like connecting a bunch of things. Like, it's like, oh, we're doing this day, so we can do this on that day. And guys are like, this is box A. We're doing everything in box A. This is box B, and it's like there's no interconnecting of it. Like, it's
I
just
never heard of that saying.
it's very segment.
How do you feel about that, Seabass?
I mean, I don't agree with it too much, but
What?
I got a lot more out of my two older sisters than you probably did.
Oh,
Well, that's
is
fair.
that?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it's just like if you get put in box A, like I have to make that choice and that decision to like I'm going to treat you as a a friend, a business partner, or like someone that's in a social like setting where it's just friends.
Yeah.
And then it's like if I put you in box B, it's like, hey man, if you're dating somebody, all right, cool, I'll be friendly, I'll respect your relationship,
Yeah.
like all respect. But if you come single again,
Holla at your boy.
come here. I'm just saying. But it's like, oh God, I'm like, how did I get here? Get yourself out of this hole, Jared. But
Reverse.
but going back on like if a girl's got a couple guy best friends,
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I feel like I have to meet them,
Okay.
and then it's better if I'm bigger than them. just saying.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like like Joseph, like one of my friends that we played a band together. He was like, dude, I was terrified if cause he took my sister Jenna to prom, and we met through church and stuff, so it was very it wasn't like anything bad about it.
Yeah.
But he was like, dude, if I mess this up, Jared's gonna kill me.
You dang skippity.
And I mean, there was a guy, we'll call him, we use Billy as a name holder. So there's this guy, Billy, that was taking my oldest sister to homecoming.
Hilarious.
And
We know your name's not Billy.
Yeah. And I just remember I just kind of did that thing where I put my hand on his shoulder and I was like, you're going to make sure my sister has a good time. Because I could sniff out that he was an opportunist. Like,
oh, wow.
he was just like, oh yeah, let's hang out, let's do this. And I'm like,
yeah.
weird, you don't ever want to hang out with friends, you just want to hang out with her specifically. I'm like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not to say anything, I'm just saying. It was just like, I was like, dude, I know the game you're playing. Like,
Stop it, not you
I was
calling
like-
it out.
I was like, dude, why don't you guys just going to the movie together? I thought y'all were friends. Why don't you invite some more friends? Just hey, what's you trying?
Oh, so he was trying to get out of the friend zone.
Oh yeah, And I was
and your sister wasn't like.
no, I was like no, I was like don't do it. And then
We didn't like this guy.
no.
Was he a player?
That'd be disrespecting players.
Okay,
Like,
so a bad player.
He just was always trying to like go on one-on-one dates with girls or hang. He didn't
Oh,
call-
multiple girls, not just your sister.
yeah. Like he
Oh, I
was
see it,
he
okay.
was like hanging out with a bunch of girls one-on-one in the church and stuff, and I was like,
Ah,
Man
yeah.
whores.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, it's and like I love my sisters to death. I would.
Oh my God, I've got to talk to you about something then.
Oh, hit me. I'm ready.
Well, we're gonna do this talk off camera.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, but I mean, it's just like you got like, and that's the kind of the perspective that you see when you have sisters. You can they can help you sniff out people that might have nefarious means.
Yeah.
And then as a brother, it's like, it's like, hey, I'm not saying all guys are the same because I hate thinking people are all just, you can put everyone in
Yeah.
one group and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have my opinions and stuff, but like there are trends that you can spot out, and it's like, well, how come he doesn't want to hang out with all the friend groups? He just wants to hang out
That's
with
weird,
you.
yeah.
It's like once or twice, sure, maybe, especially if you. And she's like, oh, well, I don't see him like that. It's like, okay, well, does he see you like that?
Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, another fun thing about like dating, which is funny because me and Carlos were joking about this when we just went on tangents about dating, but when you're a musician, like real estate, I feel like when you say I'm a real estate agent,
Uh-huh.
I work in real estate, investor, whatever.
Oh
that's,
my gosh, if we're gonna talk about, oh my God, I have so many stories.
oh, right. We can. This is the therapy session. Like,
Listen, I don't know why, but like ever since I became a real estate agent, I feel like guys think that it's cool to pretend like they're interested in buying a house, go through the steps of talking to a lender, and then just say, I'm not ready right now, but also like, can we go out for a drink? No.
like no.
No, actually no, because if I wasn't turned off before, I am now.
Yeah. Well,
Because now I know what your intentions were. You were never interested in that property.
you wasted my time
You
already.
wasted my time, and that's disrespectful, and like that's a turn off.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm very like upfront, like especially like now that I'm getting into this like phase of my life where I'm like, all right, I've got the properties, I got everything in my portfolio, I'm getting my money right, trying to make sure I get like my spirit right, all that stuff, just like because I mean, like I want to get to that point where it's like I'm ready to jump on like an opportunity when when it becomes like, oh, I see you as a great partner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste your time. And so I'm going to like, are you a Swiftie? Are you a Beehive? What's your music taste?
Hilarious, because if they're a Swiftie, then what? You don't like all the glitter?
I'm not saying I love Taylor Swift as just an anomaly. Like,
okay.
Like Beyonce.
No, answer the question.
Oh, dang, she got me. She got me pinned.
All the glitter.
Yeah.
Look, I can't say that I don't want to be like that guy that says, oh, you're a Swiftie.
Say it.
Marked off. No, I'm like, you enjoy Taylor Swift. She's an amazing artist, and she's done an amazing job as a businesswoman. So I understand, like, you could look up to that person.
Let me rephrase my question. Is it a red flag or a green flag?
It's a beige flag.
Okay, so it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, I'm colorblind, so it's a bunch of gray flags for me.
He can't see green or red, so it don't matter.
Hilarious.
That might explain my dating past.
Hilarious.
But like when you were saying, like guys will like see that and think it's so cool, like as a real estate agent and stuff. Like when the look in women's eyes when I tell them I'm a musician, just the oh you.
Wait, why do you? Wait, really? Is that a thing?
Yeah, after 25, it just like it's like, oh, you're in a band. That's so cool. You have ambition. It's like, oh, so you don't have that much like going on. It's like you're just in a band. Oh, like how are you gonna afford kids? And it's just, I'm like, I have a plan. The real estate is the plan. The music
breaks my heart.
I can only just say from my experience, because then I get put in that. Oh, he's just for fun. Like
I can understand that. That
like,
breaks my heart. You're
thank
awesome.
you.
Jared is a catch for anyone like watching.
I'll give him the benefit too. There is a lot of traveling as a musician too.
Oh, valid. Okay, see, that's another perspective I didn't think about. Yeah.
So I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that is a lot of traveling, a lot of time.
I
away.
mean, and
also your Friday and Saturday nights are always busy.
Always busy. It's
Those
like
are date nights supposed to be.
Exactly. So I mean, like my work week is like Monday is Sunday I might be playing at church doing like studio sessions, and that's usually most of the weekdays. And then you got to put in practice time, songwriting time, like practice. Musicians fucking practice your instrument. It's the only way to do it. But and then after that, it's like Friday, Saturday, you're hopefully playing a gig, and then it's like. So for me, trying to find like someone that can be on like a freelance schedule, that's really one of the things I'm like, I'm not against like a doctor or like anybody that has like a set in stone, a salesperson, anything like that, because that's security and stability.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could snag me a doctor, lawyer, or something like that, that's got like I'm like,
Well,
oh, yes, honey,
a
you will
win
come.
is a win.
A win is a win, like.
What?
But I can only say from my personal experience, like there's you have to kind of like set it up to like reveal that this is like your goal is to be a full-time musician.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like, I've like this is like my first year and a half of being like completely full-time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you started, I'm trying to remember from my research.
I started in 2021.
Okay, yeah, because I was like it was close to the
I
pandemic.
started doing real estate literally. I passed my real estate exam a month after my partner passed away.
I gotcha, yeah. And I mean, like when you take that leap to really go full time, where it's like this is all on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to have that like personal like dedication to like I'm not just gonna wake up. Like I hate the like I'm one of those guys that sleeps like 4 to 6 hours a night at best.
Oh wow, okay, good for you.
I mean that's at best, and it's usually because you get done playing at the bars and stuff at like 1 maybe 2 o'clock. Then
Do you feel like you function with that amount of sleep?
that's a polite way to put it. Function.
That's about it.
That's about. It's like I'm moving.
Do you sleep even less since you said good for you? Do you
Oh,
get
no.
even less?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, I'm an 8-hour girl. I said good for you. Like, oh my gosh, I would like to be like that. Only need that many. I would get so much done.
I mean, but the thing is, it's just you get up and you're doing all that stuff,
Mhm.
and then you gotta I gotta try to hit the gym. Gotta keep because I've
The fact that that's a you gotta. I mean, that's not even a you gotta for me.
it's. I can't not because it's like I gotta
It's good for your endorphins.
it's I feel like you put yourself through hell in the morning, then the rest of your day is cakewalk. If you're doing the Stairmaster for 45 minutes,
No wonder that's how you got that booty.
just carrying all this junk in the trunk.
You got that junk.
But I mean, like do that, and then I'm definitely a caffeine addict.
Okay.
Like, ooh. Do you feel like coffee shops are still a good first date?
I feel like they are. I feel like they're a good first date. Yeah.
Because I've been feeling like that. Like I heard a point off of like probably one of the more toxic like red pilled podcast guys that were like they had some like Instagram girls out there. It's like I can't even be like get a romantic feel from a coffee shop, and you got to take me somewhere nice. I'm like.
What?
I'm
I
like,
think that they're looking for something else.
No,
than
that's what I was
they're,
feeling like.
Yeah.
But like having that freedom is the biggest part, and isn't
Yeah.
that kind of what attracted you to real estate? Is just you can make your own schedule, do everything you want if you can make the time for it.
I mean, yes. That wasn't what initially attracted me to real estate. Initially, I knew I wanted to invest, and I was going to be an investor and be like you, landlord, lord of the land.
Get me a patch. I'm gonna put it right here.
I never thought I would take it as a career until who I dated he was a builder, so he built like neighborhoods, really nice neighborhoods. And he was like, "Man, like you have a really good personality for real estate. Like that's what you should do." I'm like, "I don't know. I never did sales. I don't know how to sell nothing. What do you mean selling? What?" Anyways, so I guess that's how I got into it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, the flexibility is great. And then also, there's just no cap. You don't have a ceiling in real estate. Like, real estate, you can go as far as you personally desire and have the drive to.
yeah.
Like, you can go from making $0 a month, it's the very bottom,
To pulling in some 6 digits.
to pulling in like $30,000 off of one transaction.
Hell yeah.
You know,
It's you got to work for it.
you have to work for it. You have to be motivated. You have to be driven. You have to go past so many no's, so many I'm not interested, and you
Yeah.
just have to fight that little bug in your head that's like, hey, your real estate's just not going to do
It's not
anything.
working out like you
yeah,
thought,
you
or-
should just go ahead and quit now.
Oh,
You got to
yeah.
get past that, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you had that as a musician too. Like,
Yeah.
no one's gonna like your music, blah blah blah. But you'll never know if you don't start and actually
Yeah.
do it.
The one difference I think is like the biggest separation between that is just with music. It's like something like because obviously I love looking at houses. I love the idea. I love like just the way.
I just love serving families and helping, like, because
Yeah.
you're making a difference.
I mean, when you can set someone up, get them a hell of a deal, and it's like it works in their budget. They thought that, oh, I didn't even think we could afford this, and you make it work. You
Yeah.
find something that, oh,
Or like I had a listing in Macon that we had an appraisal on it and it came in super low. Like I want to say like maybe like $40,000 lower than what we were listing it for.
ooh,
And I was like, we could either proceed with this deal, take a hit, and then close, or what I suggest is I feel like you could get a lot more for it. You know, let's just let it sit for a little
Let it
bit and
simmer, let
let's
it cook.
trust. Yeah, let's trust it. And we did. And honestly, I think it was like maybe like half a week. And I was like, oh shit, like, did I advise my client the wrong thing to say and to do? Like, oh my gosh, thank God. Cause like he raves about this till this day. I mean, we've closed like multiple deals together, but he's like, man, I'll never forget. Like, you told me not to take that deal. And because of that, we ended up getting a full
price offer.
full price offer,
Hell
and it
yeah.
appraised at that. Cause like
Ugh.
typically if you get a low appraisal the first time, the second one is going to be very close to, if not the
Yeah.
same.
Because they're going to base it off of all that stuff.
Yeah, and so we were very thankful. Or like there was a time where I listed a property and the previous agent couldn't sell it for whatever reason, and so we looked at it. We kind of strategized a different way to resell it, and I ended up selling it for over 25,000 more than. And this was like just my second listing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I heard the
So
story
that-
about your first one. That
Oh,
was a good one. Like we have to rehash that.
Yeah. So my first listing, a lot of people talk about real estate and, it's a networking field, nourishing relationships and things like that is kind of our
That's one thing.
niche.
That's one thing Shake and Bake's good at.
Yeah.
Oh, Bubby.
That's awesome. And so with my first real estate transaction, I just know I was so hungry and I was so eager, mainly because I am a single mom and I quit my full-time job and I'm like full-time real estate agent. So I'm like, I need something coming in. I'm a homeowner. Like I have to provide for my family. Like
Got a
no
case
one's
of the bills.
no one's swooping in for me, okay? And I'm not only fansing it, okay? We're not doing that. So I'm like, man, all my other agents that have been in the game for like 20 plus years are like, Kat, you got to slow down. It's going to come with time, You need to stop what you're doing. Don't door knock, don't call. I'm like, screw it. I got to do this stuff. So I went to a picnic for a friend, and at this picnic, I just happened to share like, hey, I'm a new real estate agent. I think I closed like my first deal. My first deal was like land. I helped someone purchase land.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just shared, I was like, hey, I'd love to do a market analysis, let you know like where you're at as far as, no obligation. We can talk about where your value is and what some options are. You don't have to sell. It's not your only option in real estate. You can always like refinance, cash out, equity, things like that. And so I met this older man and he was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know what he did or anything. And so we sat down, and before the meeting, he mentioned to me like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a retired real estate broker. I was like, oh, and instantly I'm like, ching, 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 ching.
It's like intimidation factor.
Intimidation, because as a broker, like you have a network of agents, like you have a network of, other people that you can use that are probably more, experienced, because again, I've never sold not one house. This is my first time. And so I was very honest with him and I said, hey, I haven't sold a house yet, but I've got a group of agents behind me that I double, triple, quadruple check everything I do. And, any advice I'm giving you, I just want to let you know it is routed through my broker first and verified to be correct. Yeah, everything is verified to be correct. And I cross my T's, dot my I's, all of that. And so we had a great meeting, talked about the value, and he was like, okay. And I didn't even go in thinking I was going to sell his house. I just went in like, let me provide the service. Maybe I'll get a referral out of it. Maybe I can help someone else. Or maybe I'll just take it as practice, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to have these conversations. Even if it doesn't amount to something, it's great practice. And so he was just, I guess, very impressed with, the presentation and, what I would offer coming in as far as, offering a home warranty, which I would pay for and things like that. And he was like, man, this number looks really good. Like, I think I want to sell. I think I want you to be the agent. I'm like, what? Are you sure? I could do this.
I was like, I'll do it. If I'll do it.
Are you sure? Like, I'll send you the contract, but I just want to make sure you're sure that you're sure.
Yeah.
So it was a good experience. It was like right around this time. So it was around right after Thanksgiving, we listed the house, and around that time I was worried because it's my first listing, and then also it's not the best time of year to have your first listing, not the best time of year to sell.
Yeah, no one's looking to move during the holidays.
Yeah, typically, right? No one wants to move during the holidays. And those that are looking, so the positive side is those that are looking around the holidays, around the end, fourth quarter or first quarter of the year, they're typically serious lookers.
We're getting it done now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Versus if you're in the spring and it's sunny outside and someone's having an open house, let's stop at 4, but we're not planning on doing anything. Just let me grab a snack. You get a lot of that, right? And so we did not agree on a price that we were going to sell the house. I said, I come up with 3 strategies, and I say, we can go below market value, at market value, or right above, like the crazy number, whatever it is
Just
that you
to
want.
see if it gets it,
To
man.
see if it gets it, right? He was at the crazy number. I'm like, can we go down just one notch? Let's just go to market value.
Yeah.
Let's incite a bidding war because
That's the best.
yeah, let's not do that. And then also the other homes in that neighborhood, none of them have sold for that price at that time.
Ooh, yeah, you got to get those comps.
Exactly. And then the other thing that was a disadvantage is that compared to the other homes in the neighborhood, his house was on a mega slope uphill. And so almost to the point where like when you get to the bottom of the driveway, like it could scrape your car depending on the type of car you have.
The Kia, did it make it?
It scraped my Kia, but only because there was a way I could finagle it.
I
So I
gotcha.
figured out the way,
Yeah, yeah.
But the first time, second time, it kind of got me good. And so that's also like a factor that people, think about. They're like, wait a second, I don't want to put my car through this or, whatever the heck. Anyways, so I was like, yeah, pricing this and making sure that it's like market ready and like presentable is key to getting your crazy number. So he finally was like, I was just like, okay, you're the client's always right. We'll do this under one condition. If we get nothing in a week, we got to come down on that price. Like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And so he kind of, he was like, I don't know about that. He was this Italian man, older Italian. And he's like,
we're not going to get him an offer.
oh my gosh, I don't know. Something about Italians, man. They're good at like combativeness and stuff. Now I know why a lot of Italians are like lawyers and stuff, man, because no, it's a real thing.
We're great at arguing.
Oh my, are you Italian?
Enough.
I should have known. And no, because like we would literally like, kind of get into it. Like I was just like, man, like, I mean, there's one time when I scheduled the photographer to come out to the house and take pictures, and he's like, yeah, the house is ready. And so I had this photographer that I worked with before. And so I was like, yeah, just go to the house. I'll meet you there. I'm at the office picking up the for sale sign and everything. And he's like, yeah, the house is ready. And so my photographer gets there. He calls me a couple times. I'm busy. I don't see my phone.
Yeah.
And so he texts me. So when I finally see my phone, he texts me. He's like, house is not ready for pictures. I left the house. And I'm like, oh, crap. Like, what the heck? I'm like 10 minutes down the road, and I'm calling my client like, what do you mean? Like, you said the house was ready. Like, whatever. He's like, yeah, it is ready. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what the photographer's talking about. So I drive to the house.
Oh, buddy. I'm excited to hear how bad or how good or bad it was.
I get to the house, and like, first of all, when you walk in, it's a giant foyer, and there are 2 rooms to each side. One side is a dining room. One side is like an office. You walk forward, and you've got like your living area and stairs and whatnot. And so as soon as I walk in, I look to my right. No, wait. I look to my left. The office, clear. Okay, cool. Look to my right. Dining room. I'm like, why is there your entire load of laundry on your dining room table? This is not ready for pictures. Like, what are we doing?
Or they like, oh, you could just Photoshop that out.
No, literally.
No.
He's like, oh, why don't I just move it? And then you can take the picture and then I'll move it back. And I'm like, no, like we can't, So a lot of real estate is also like coaching. Like, I want you to win. Let me help you win, but also help yourself win.
It's like, help
Get
me,
the
help you,
clothes
help
off
you.
the table.
Oh, my God.
And this was a busy photographer, so like the day that we scheduled it was like a couple days before, or I want to say like a week before we were going to list it. So to try to get that same photographer who's great to come back out beforehand, and he was like already booked for that next week, month. So I'm like, crap, like I had to find a new photographer. It was a whole ordeal all because of that. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing about like, it's funny you say like
It's hilarious, but it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. Every deal I've had or every like property I've dealt with, I've been very blessed. I had most things go well. Only a few little hiccups here and there, But it's just you do see like how like some people just get in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny you say, it's like I've never been in sales. It's like you could have fooled me. Like I've been in sales my whole life, and the thing is just like, you ever heard the saying, "Common sense doesn't grow in everyone's garden"?
Yes.
Like
Actually, no, but I've heard a similar thing.
something like that. I mean, like there's something about like when you just you realize, oh, I can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Like let me help you. You got to just do these few things, and they're like, well, I don't wanna.
No,
And
some people are like, don't help me.
it's like just do it. Like just this is how it is. Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, like when you're in sales, you for instance, I've done everything from safety supplies to industrial equipment.
Okay.
So it's like a very broad range of things. And what it always comes down to is you got to know what you have, what they need, and meet it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just got it's like, hey, you need this solution.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the solution. Like let's make a deal to where it's like
Yeah.
it makes sense to you. And like you definitely pursue like give out this aura of just like, I got you. I'm going to take care of it.
So many people say that, Jared. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm just saying, like you might just like.
So I've only done healthcare, so before real estate, and so that's a lot of the physicians were saying that, like they're just like, yeah. So when you told us that you were gonna do real estate, we all knew that you'd be really good because you just have that personality or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I wish I knew this about myself, or it's like kind of like that self belief thing you gotta kind of battle.
Yeah, and I mean, like what's weird, the best part about having a sales career prior to getting into music is I did like cold calling, because you like, oh, you don't have to do that. It's like, no, you do.
I did all of the things that everyone said don't do, and it's a waste of your time. And literally, that's how I got I got like 2 or 3 listings that way.
Yeah.
And listings are way sweeter than representing buyers.
Mm.
I still love my buyers.
Yeah.
But listings are more of like that guarantee, like you're going to close soon.
Yeah, it's like we're listing this house. We want you to do it.
We're going to close. Like
Yeah.
it might be 30 to 45 days, but it's not going to be like 6 months of looking at properties or 8 months of driving around everywhere or
Yeah.
also coaching you off the ledge because your family member said this
It's
when
like,
they
no,
bought a house 30 years ago.
I bought a house. You paid this. You do that, and that's how it's always going to
Yeah.
be. It's like.
Or you hear the coworkers and the friends are like, oh, interest rates are at 7%, so you should just hold off on buying for forever because eventually they're going to go back down. And it's like, really? And then when they do go back down, what's the price of that house going to be?
Well, yeah. And
What are you going to be able to buy?
And I had some people tell me that when I was looking for this last property I bought, and it's like, well, just wait. And I was like, well, you can also buy down the rate.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. People act like there are no options or like you're totally being screwed. I remember when I bought my house, my interest rate was not a good interest rate. I thought I had a horrible interest rate. Mine was almost 6%, when the regular interest rates were at like 3.
Yeah.
But what happened? Like I still purchased my property because I knew, I didn't want to wait another year. I'd already tried the year before and fell in love with this house. Was under contract for a while. So, but God literally stepped in on that one.
God is good.
God is good because I love the house that I have now so much more better. But you would have thought I died because it was bad. But anyways, what the heck what was the point of this?
We were talking about like people.
Interest rates.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So I bought my house. Thank God I did. From the year, like the houses that I was looking at the first time, I think they were around like maybe like 130 or whatever. And so I just put a halt on that, tried again the next year. And so I was looking at like around 160, 180, around that range. I didn't want to go above that just because of where I felt comfortable paying monthly as a single parent. And so about 2 years after I closed on my house, maybe a year and a half, I refinanced. My payment went down like almost $200. I'm at 2% now. Like, and if I would have waited, now what houses are going for in my neighborhood, horrendous. They're double.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm thankful for it. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it works out
Equity.
when you're on that side of it.
Hashtag equity.
But I mean, are you a fan of Dave Ramsey?
Love Dave Ramsey. I took that Financial Peace University before. Oh, I always recommend that class.
Just definitely like coach your people up and like let them know. And I mean, the best piece of advice was marry the house, date the mortgage.
Yes. A lot of people hate that saying.
Yeah.
I'm starting to.
Just because it's.
Well, no, because there's more to it.
Yeah, it's very dry.
Make sure that you're comfortable what you're paying monthly.
Oh yeah.
Make sure that you can pay that for at least a year.
Yeah. Because people's budgets, some people like a lot of my tenants now, like it's this month especially, or like December, they overpaid. Like
oh, good.
They went ahead. It's like let me go ahead and like take care of like this, like November and December. Like I need to go ahead and cover this. Let me go ahead and pay December. I got the money to do it.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, those are the ones that I'm like, hey, I get like, there's love you, thank you,
Yeah.
and but their whole methodology behind it is like, I don't want to have the temptation to spend the money. If it's not there, I won't spend it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I do agree. I kind of see what you're saying with that. Like, the probably not the best nuance of that saying about dating the mortgage,
Yeah.
or it's like
There's a lot of variables.
there's a lot of variables to go into it, and it's like, I mean, I've been really getting into financial audits.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Caleb Hammer. I sent it to Seabass, but he's this guy.
Okay, wait. Go back to Dave Ramsey. What was
Yeah.
the biggest part of Dave Ramsey that you like took home?
I mean, I definitely, there's a lot going into it where it's like, if you want to leverage like your debt, you got to be smart about it. When it came into, I definitely subscribe to his like save money and things like that. The Rich Dad Poor Dad is another guy. Like,
I think I saw that one. Yeah.
like them two talking about it. It's just like kind of like you were saying about that saying. It's like there's more nuances to it. You got to understand your individual like thumbprint, that your fingerprint, that is as individual as you are.
Mhm.
So is your situation.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah.
And you gotta. It's not forever.
Yeah.
Like, you will, if you like get this house that's not maybe your dream home.
Mhm.
Maybe
Maybe the payment's a little bit higher than what you wanted it to be, but you can do it for a year.
And like another one that he talked about was like, what do you think's going to happen when interest rates come back down?
A lot of people are gonna be on the market.
A lot of people are going to be back. So if you get
I took the Dave Ramsey class before he rolled out the real estate thing, because now he has a whole thing for agents. Like, I can also be like a Dave Ramsey real estate agent or something like that.
kind of business is amazing.
He's awesome. I took his class before that. So a lot of things are a little bit different about what he teaches, and a lot of the methods that he has out there now is a little bit different than what I learned when I was in his class. But one of the lessons that I really took home from the class is the snowball effect, or like how you get rid of debt, and the snowball method is,
Yeah, I need to send that one to my sisters.
oh my gosh, I love that. Literally. So, funny story. I was under contract for this first house that I absolutely loved in Norris Lake in Snellville. Had that wraparound deck that we talked about.
Love it.
I mean, floor to ceiling windows. I absolutely loved it. It already had $30,000 of equity with just what we were under contract with. So I just loved the house. Had a basement. I loved it. God intervened, and he was like, no. So after that, we had to walk away from that deal. I decided to buy a car because I was just feeling so sorry for myself, and I was just like, man, I didn't get to buy the house. I'm buying a new car. I'm buying something, damn it. I'm walking out of here with something. Okay. So I got my Kia Optima, which I love still to this day. And they're very actually affordable cars. Like, it's fully loaded, and I got
People
it for like.
talk a lot of shit about how they're not like this, that, or the other, but
I
it's like,
love them.
I mean, dude,
If I'm getting another car, I'm getting another Kia.
they've definitely stepped up their game. I'm not a huge car guy, but I definitely think that you needed, like, I drive an Equinox right now.
Oh, okay.
The biggest thing about it was I need a fuel efficient car that has space for the music equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's my work
Yeah.
vehicle. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, what am I gonna do? Like,
Boom.
it's
So I owed like $15,000 on this freaking Kia, and then I was like, all right. The next year, I'm like, all right. Well, I want to buy a house. So what am I gonna do? And I didn't realize how much like that affected me. The fact that I had this car debt now.
Yeah.
So I took the Dave Ramsey class. Thank you, Mom, for that gift. And I learned the snowball method, and I paid my car off in 9 months.
Hell yeah.
What was a 72-month loan, I paid off in 9 months, and then I was still able to save using the Dave Ram in the envelope system.
Yes, the envelope system.
Love that too.
Like, I definitely think that's something it's just weird because the envelope system, like, nowadays, I think a lot of banks will do it now with their online banking, to where you can set up like, oh, I want this to go here, this to go here, and then it's like.
But it's different when you have the cash on hand and you've got and you're actually logging it.
Yeah,
that's a different type of dedication.
Like, you know why? Because the cash in hand is like such a funny thing. Because, like, do you know why casinos use chips instead of just putting dollars down?
Because you don't feel like you're spending as much.
It's like, oh, that's just like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. They don't matter. It's just like, oh, it's just my
all in. Great.
Oh, you had pocket aces? Like that. I mean, it's so weird. I mean, like, do you feel like when you were going through that process, do you feel like you had to sacrifice a lot, or like you?
I sacrificed a lot, but like, I'm like one of those mindset people where it's like, if it makes sense for me to sacrifice getting my nails done or something small, like, I'm in because like we got this goal that we have to tackle, and that home ownership was a goal. Like I was like, I'm not renting and I'm not staying with my parents forever. Like I'm gonna be a homeowner and I want to start investing. So I was like, I need a good flip, want to make it a rental. I'm going after it. And you know, I even went ahead a step further than the Dave Ramsey, and I did something that's actually very scary for a lot of people.
Ooh, do tell.
I will tell. I printed 3 months of my previous 3 months bank statements, and I only focused on all of the negatives. Well, I also, you know, I knew how much I was making with my healthcare, right? So I had to put that aside. And then I also took a look at where all of my expenses were.
Ooh, that's got to be fun.
And then I put them in categories, subcategorized them. And then I tallied them up each month to see, where am I spending money? Where is every single cent going? I need to know so I can adequately change the things I need to change and I can change, so that I can maximize what I'm saving.
Oh, I love it.
And all that. And it was daunting. But when I tell you, it like completely opened my eyes to my bad swipe spendings. I mean, because it's so easy when you work in healthcare and you're like half a mile away from TJ Maxx, half a mile away from Target. You know, it's so easy to take that lunch break and go on a shopping spree.
It's like, you know what, I do need this. I do. You know what, that's so good.
This would look so good in the bathroom. You know, I love this scent.
Yeah, I mean the swiping.
I fell for that every lunch break. I would go shopping with my friends.
Or yeah, like I remember I was kind of got a little accosted at my last job because I was so, I went and health wise I was in pretty okay health. Like I was doing my thing, working out before like getting to this office at 8. The thing was is I was just like this, like the biggest thing I need to like curtail is just going out and getting that $15 lunch every day. $15 a day on top of driving an hour.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot.
Yeah, and so I became the soup guy. I just literally would have a bowl.
Or not only that, but if you add up the breakfast too.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I mean that, yeah.
So you became the soup guy?
Yeah,
What type of soup?
Oh, I'd have a assortment of Progresso and just whatever was on sale at like
Progresso.
I'd Progresso.
Not
Campbell.
homemade soup.
It was like I would get the 1.98 like cent cans on sale.
That cannot be good for you.
The sodium probably wasn't going to do me any favors.
Oh my gosh.
But I would just like for like that entire year and a half, I had like lunch every day was just a can of soup, and then I go walk around the building, and then I just listen to like like any kind of like interest in like, oh, did you know you could do this? Did you know you could do this? Do like just listening and trying to take in, and like one of the things I've been really like trying my hardest at with, especially with Instagram, because I'm addicted to Instagram. Like I try to like curtail my stream to where it's like investing, music business, not just like dumb like, oh, do you want to see this like dog do some funny thing? It's like, because
look what I can do.
Yeah. God, Mad TV. For those who don't know what that was called being a gem of a person, and it's actually having culture.
Yes.
Mad TV. Look what I can do. I don't like it.
Mommy. Stuart.
Oh
Stuart.
my God.
Get off
Sebastian,
the floor, Stuart.
do you know what we're talking about?
I think I missed this.
Stuart. Stuart.
Why is the cat in the fridge?
Are you gonna be a good boy, Stuart?
This is sounding like the llama thing.
No, not. How
This
dare
is
you?
You
sounding like
need to watch a
Carl.
clip. You need to
Mad,
watch a clip.
Mad TV. It just
Mad TV Stuart.
Stuart.
What was this? Just TV when
Mad
when
TV
we were
Stuart.
younger?
Back when
Yeah.
Comedy Central was actually good and it had more than just South
I
Park
didn't
on.
watch that
Yeah.
much TV as a child.
Well,
Oh,
or
private
even
school.
A teenager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
private
I was
school
into
life.
too many sports.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Athletic back here.
do you want to swing that bat around?
You played football. You gotta know.
Yeah, no, he's got me there. I did plenty of meathead stuff. Like, the thing was with me in sports, she knows this better than anybody.
What?
I didn't get really sucked into the video game aspect.
Oh, I love the video games.
I mean, they're fun, but it's like I would just like the guys were like, oh, sorry, Jared, our team's full. We don't need anybody else for zombies. And I'm like, guys, I know I'm horrible, but I can't get better if I don't play with you. And they're like, no, we're good. We're trying to prestige here. Like, we're trying to get ranked. And it's like, all right.
This is a ranked game. This isn't a pro.
I'm just gonna go lift some stuff and get my emotions out. But I mean, like going on to the financial audit thing, like you were talking about, like you took the initiative to actually break it down.
Oh my gosh, the amount I spent at Chick-fil-A every day. Oh, and I love Chick-fil-A.
Gotta love the Lord's chicken.
I I was so sad. I was spending like $30 a day between breakfast and lunch.
And it's like it adds up, and and when you look at it and it's in your face, you're like, oh no, I didn't mean to.
Oh my gosh, I stopped getting my nails done. Like I stopped a lot of things. Like I stopped my lunch shopping sprees,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. There's a lot of things. I mean, a lot of coworkers be like, "Hey, you want to go to TJ Maxx?" I can't.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Just go for me. Don't show me what you get either.
Just
I don't
leave
wanna
it in the
see
trunk.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I tell you, man, it's like the swipe. And I feel like, you know what's funny? I actually had an experience like where I was traveling for a gig, and I was out in the I want to say it was Elberton. I was going to play at a winery, Blue Silo Winery, beautiful place.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just want to give them a shout out. They're wonderful people.
Okay.
But I was out there and I needed to go get gas, and it was one of those old machines where it wasn't a tap or a chip.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no, you gotta swipe it. I was like, oh, this is so foreign now.
Oh, hello.
And I was like, man, I wonder if like that's another like mental thing where you just tap and it's taken care of.
Yeah.
You just walk away. It's so fast. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, like when you take a look at like what you're actually spending, and then like you said, like I love how you put like you had a goal to get that house. You had these things.
I was willing to make that sacrifice.
Like you make that sacrifice, and you absolutely just go full bore into it. You don't let up, and you don't let like coworkers, friends, family.
But the thing is, like, what kept me going too, and I feel like I should add this, is that I always had constant reminders as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I was always using a planner. And so my planner, I would have, it was like a graph almost. And like, I would like fill in what I'm saving. Like the more I save, the more the graph goes up, and then eventually like it's all the way colored. Yay. And so I'm like reminding myself
You mean
every day.
like the book or
The book fair stuff.
like where it's like,
literally, I did that.
You're not too young for that, are you,
I
Zay?
know that one.
Okay,
I needed
good.
that. So that was like my motivation, because I was like, I know. And then also like a lot of people my age at that time, they were not, I mean, because I was a young mom.
Yeah.
I became a mom at 18. So I was in the workforce. I didn't do college, all of that. I skipped all that. And so a lot of people around that time, I was like 23, they weren't thinking about buying a house, you know. And I was also like, okay, this is where my ego came in. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be like the youngest person in my group that owns a house too. And I'm a single mom. Like, I'm going to get it done.
You're gonna prove everybody
I'm going to
wrong.
prove everyone that it is possible. And if I can do it, then hell yeah, you can do it, given the circumstances. And so, I mean, I remember that being also like a motivator in my head.
Yeah.
And when I did it, everyone was like, wow, Kat, like,
You fucking did it.
you fucking did it. How'd you do it?
Are you feeling fulfilled, Jared?
I'm so happy hearing all this. I
Yeah.
love it.
You can relate to the single mom part as well.
And
So
what,
yeah, like
I'll get back to you.
but yeah, like I was like, yeah, all those naysayers. And also particularly like, you know, when you're going through that journey of home ownership, you get a lot of naysayers and you get some supporters, right?
Yeah.
It's always great to have like the supporters like, yeah, you won, we knew you'd do
Go
it.
for it, do it.
But it's almost even sweeter, like, you know, like
Just
yeah.
twirling that key around your fingers, like,
Oh,
what's
you
up, y'all?
thought, you know?
Oh. Oh, you.
There's a key right there? It is.
Yeah. That's
Want to work?
Guess what it goes to? Not my apartment.
My house. Guess what I'm building? Equity.
Oh my god. I mean, and it's I feel like that's one of the scary things when I sold my house, the first house I bought, it was during like 2022, 2021,
Oh.
20 somewhere in that range, where it was just like when everything was skyrocketing.
Okay.
And so
I thought about selling mines around that time too, but I was like, let me hold tight.
yeah, I mean, like my situation, I was just ready to kind of make a move, and I was like, I know like everything that goes up comes
Yeah.
down.
Yep.
So it's like, hey, like let's sell
We're
high.
up right now. Yeah.
Oh, we was up.
We was up.
Like I put some good sweat equity into the place. I made sure to like take care of it, like upgrade
Okay,
it,
good.
do as much as I could with what I could afford.
Yeah.
And then like someone just came up and was like, we'll offer you double what you paid for it.
Shut up.
And I was like, let me
see it in paper.
Let me see that offer first. And then of course you got to wait for the appraisal.
We'll see the proof.
Yeah, we just it's like it wasn't intended to be a flip, but it kind of turned into a flip because of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And then God bless my friends and stuff. They helped me kind of like once I did sell my house, they helped me kind of find a spot, make sure I could get everything taken care of, and like I was very fortunate. So it's like I don't want to like you did it through just like sheer willpower and everything that you did, because you are the person that is here today because of all those things that you did.
Period.
And like
Period. Pooh.
full stop. Full stop. But I mean, like, that's just the thing is everyone's got a situation that you can find it, and I feel like when everyone was selling their houses, like that was one of the things like people were. I was so worried about like because a lot of those companies were the investor companies that were just going to buy them to rent them out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
I want a family in here. I want to bless a family.
like, and it's like. And on top of that, I feel like there's a faint memory when rent used to be at a spot where it was like, oh, you're renting so you could save to buy a house.
Yeah, that's no longer the case.
Yeah, like,
rent now is, I mean, okay, no. Before it was a mortgage was less than your rent, and I think that right now, and a lot of it has to do with the higher interest rates. You're looking at rent is right around the same as having a mortgage. Right now, it might be less depending
on where and
on
how.
the numbers and everything. But it's still a better option because you'll never get equity renting ever.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. It's like I feel like that used to be a part of the American dream, quote unquote, whatever that is. To
whatever the heck that is, I'm still figuring out.
Yeah, I mean, if you figure it out, you're gonna tell me, right?
I'll tell you.
I think,
I'll share.
I'll
the
try
wealth.
to. If I find out, I'll make sure to send you.
Just vice versa.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
But I mean, the housing thing, like you talk about equity, like that used to be like in my mind growing up, that was the thing. It's like buy a house, get equity.
Yeah.
And that was like your last reserve of like if everything like if the proverbial shit hits the fan, like I feel like I always hear stories. It's like, oh yeah, so and so, their wife died, they got divorced, some traumatic thing happened, and then it's like then they got in a bad situation financially. They'd sell the house, rent, and get back on their feet because they had that equity in that house to where it was like that was their savings, like saving grace in a lot of ways. And I mean, one of my buddies, Jojo, he's like, dude, he's just like he's just lamenting about how frustrating it is, and I'll probably send him your way if when you're ready to buy a house, come on, referrals.
Period, poo.
And he was just saying, it's like I'm so frustrated how I can get approved to rent a place for $1,600 a month, but I can't get approved for a $1,500 a month mortgage.
I know. It's because it's just so many different factors. And does he have a car note? Just pay off the car note.
No, thankfully, he's got his truck paid off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah,
I always feel like the car note is like a majority of the time. It's like 90% of the reason why you may require more of a down payment, or you may not, be approved for as much.
Debt nowadays.
Well, what's funny is it depends with student loans, because if you're still in school for student loans, they don't count that debt against you if you're still in school, if you're still an active student. But if you graduated and you've got your student loans deferred or whatever,
that counts against you.
It counts against you, and then also you need to take them out of deferment and actually set up a payment plan.
So that way they know it's being taken care of.
Exactly. And it's weird because when you're in deferment, you don't have to pay anything, and then when you're trying to get out of deferment, they try to give you like a payment that works with you and wherever you are financially, but it's also set to change. So it's like weird because with mortgage companies, like they're looking at like 20, 30 years, and they want to make sure that your payment is going to, I don't know, they just want to make sure the payment's going to stay the same.
Yeah.
So it's weird because the payment might be $11 for a year, and then it might go to 25, and then it might, go to 130, and then it's like, okay, that third year, that 130 is going to count against you. And I don't know, it's going to be 3 years, and you may not be in this house, but we still have to count the larger amount that you may have to pay monthly.
Exactly.
And then that might cap someone out from being approved at what they want, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. It's like, there's just this like weird precedent or like this mentality with like the millennials. Like they just feel like, oh, I'll never get to own a home and stuff like that.
It's possible.
It is possible.
Oh
and
my gosh,
like
so
what would
many
be
programs? Well, like that program that's out in Atlanta now. Actually, Jemai told me about that. He's one of the only lenders that I've worked with that knows about the program and is actually informing others about it. And passing my phone, I don't want to give out bad information because this like really makes home buying affordable right now.
Oh, nice. Kick the camera.
Yeah, now I'm not punching mics. I'm punching cameras.
Oh, well.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We love you for who you are, Seabass.
Okay. So let's see.
And we'll
here.
definitely make sure put all that information to share, not only your page as well as, Jemine.
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
he's an awesome lender. And not only that, Jemai's just an awesome person.
Like I said, national treasure.
When I tell you, like, he has helped so many of my clients, just like, not even just on the lending side, because he's so great about that, but like on the counseling side, like on the laying your worries to rest. like even when the underwriter wants your soul and blood and everything, like somehow Jemai just makes you feel so much more at ease about it.
Dude, I love that
That's
guy.
so important.
He's the only person I know that could pick me up and cradle me like a baby.
You know? So, okay, about the new program. So, it's here in ATL. It's already active, so it's something that, you know, you can inquire with your lender about or with Jemai about. And so basically what they're offering is the following. They're offering $5,000 towards closing costs. They're offering $500 towards appraisal, which typically that's unheard of.
Yeah.
They're also offering another $500 towards a home warranty, which is also great to have if you're looking at a house that might be dated. It's great to have a home warranty going into things.
Or if things are just a little too well painted over.
You know,
Just,
like all the outlets, you know, they didn't take the outlet, they just painted over it, you know. It's like
that's a big red flag. That's a big gray flag for me.
yeah, so that home warranty comes in clutch. So what else they are offering is, well, in order to qualify, you have to have up to, or you can only have up to 5% in seller concessions. What are seller concessions? That means seller paid closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can negotiate for the seller to pay all of your closing costs. In order to qualify for this program, it's only up to 5% of the purchase price. And then your loan to value ratio is up to 97%. So you'll definitely need a 3%, you know, down payment. However, what you need to be qualified for that is you need a minimum of a 620 credit score. You do have to be qualified as a first-time home buyer because it's a first-time home buyer program.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to be moving into Atlanta or the surrounding areas.
Like inside the perimeter?
Inside the perimeter. So like Loganville counts.
Yeah.
So that's good. And so basically like that means that you could potentially own a house with like little to nothing down. Like it just makes it so much more affordable.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
And like a lot of people think you need 20,000 to buy a house.
it's like not necessarily.
It'd be great to have it in the bank,
Yeah.
but you don't
sure.
need it.
Exactly. And I mean, that's one of the cool things, and one of the reasons I was really excited when you're like, because I was reaching out, because I want to reach out to people to be on this podcast, because the whole reason, like, behind the strange herd thing,
Yeah.
is we're all, I believe,
We're all weirdos.
We're all weirdos.
We're all
got our things,
strange.
but we're all on this planet together. We're all part of the same
And
herd.
we're going to be heard.
We.
She's better at these deliveries than you.
I know, she's killing me.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was one of the cool things. Is just I want to like kind of help like put out information there that can help people. Like I talk a lot about my experiences in music, and anyone that by no means am I what I would call a success in my own right.
Yeah.
I'm out here living off of it, and
Yeah.
that's in a lot of people's way of success. And finding a home is something I'm very passionate about. Like for like a lot of my friends, I want them to have that
Yeah.
so they can grow their lives around it.
Yeah.
And it's like
Wait, so you can, all right. Okay, proceed as if that didn't happen.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, but I think that's like really important that like people like find knowledge to like help better their lives.
Yeah.
So if you can actually make something out of like, oh, like I have this job, I'm in this place, I reach out and be unafraid to contact people and ask for help. Like brokers, agents, everyone in that like,
mentor, that's like a huge thing. I highly recommend receiving a mentor, someone that's going to speak life into your business, because having a new business or being new in real estate or even investing and things like that, it's like you come up with these thoughts and you're like, man, I don't know if this is a great idea, or I don't really believe in myself. Maybe I should just quit now.
Yeah.
So having that mentor that's like, no, keep freaking going, keep swimming. Like,
don't give up.
Here's a different avenue. Here's a different, perspective or route. You're going to be successful. And it's like, man, I feel better now.
Just hearing that sometimes helps.
Yeah, hold my hand a bit,
It's just like I feel that, man. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
You just gotta like keep going. You gotta find a path that works for you, and the light at the end of the tunnel, and like this, like bringing you on here so you can talk about these like the programs and stuff. Some people are like, oh, I've only been told this. It's like, well, how many people have you talked to?
Yeah,
You
and
didn't talk to
also
Kat.
and also that's why a lot of agents recommend get a second, third, fourth opinion when it comes to your loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a good rate. Yeah, you got a good deal, but you might find better if you talk to somebody else, or you may have a program, because lenders are so different. There are lenders, there are mortgage brokers. It's a completely different world. What one lender may be able to qualify you for, what programs they may offer, may be different than what another lender or a mortgage company could offer.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, do it.
You gotta. I mean, if you think about a doctor or a surgeon, if he's recommending, all right, we're just going to cut you open here and take this out, and it's like, do we have to? It's like, I mean, you can go get a second opinion. You're probably gonna go get a second opinion,
And probably a third,
and it's like, do we
depending
have,
on
do I have to lose the whole leg? Like,
yeah. Like,
and some people you treat your bank account that way, like your finances, find other opinions, and like make sure it's hard.
oh yeah,
It's
like
hard.
when I was gonna open up a business account for real estate, I was like, man, like where should I go? Like I know I had a good experience with Chase, like, but I also have a credit union, like, and you do so much research. I'm like, all right, I gotta interview these banks. Let me see who's gonna offer me the sweetest cake of the pie.
Oh yeah, I mean,
what?
anyways, yeah, no, we got you.
We're gonna move on.
We heard you. But
Hey, back to the Gen Z millennials not being home buyers at the moment.
yeah,
Would part of that, from my perspective as someone that still doesn't have property, is that with the values going up and up, when you see a $98,000 property that's now selling at 220, what makes your guarantee it's going to stay that way? Because if you invest into it, now you feel like you're getting a diminishing value out of that, even though it's such a large entry.
Okay, that's such a great question. So when you think about it, think about inflation, think about the price of living, right? Back in 1930s, you used to pay 50 cents for milk, and now it's like damn near $3. Same thing with eggs and things like that. When it comes to real estate, the general rule is that real estate is at a steady appreciation rate of about 3 on the low to 5 on an average percent.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what happens with interest rates, no matter what happens, typically speaking, the price of a house or a property today is probably going to be higher next year.
Okay.
Did that make sense when I said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because I mean, it's going to go up, and there's so many things that are out of your control would have to happen for it to go down.
Exactly. Like one of those things would be if we have another COVID. But what happened when we had COVID, we had sweet rates, but
Then BlackRock swept up and bought everything.
yeah, literally, that's what happened. That's why they put in new regulations in Atlanta. That's why they put in those rules for the Airbnbs, because a lot of investors took advantage of that time, as they should. I mean, it's smart,
I mean, if I had the money to do it, I'd do it.
I'd do it too. Anyone savvy would do it. But, they started buying up so much, they were like, wait a second, like, you guys can only buy but 2 or 3 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's the new regulation as of 2021 or 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I was just like, that's the thing. It's like the property values and stuff. So much would have to happen.
Yeah.
Like like COVID.
Or like people bring up what happened in 2008 a lot, and
Yeah.
it's like there were so many different laws and mortgage regulations.
Or lack of laws.
Lack of laws is a better word for it.
Yeah, The Big Short's a great movie that a lot of people reference when talking about that. I mean, because people were just getting loans with no oversight.
My dog could have got one,
Yeah, I mean, and then the other thing too is just when you take a loan out, it's like the idea is you're going to pay that back.
Yeah.
And it's like some way or shape or form, but I mean, just kind of.
And then also a lot of people got scared in 2008, and it created like this frenzy of I need to sell my property because I'm upside down on my mortgage, and now I owe a lot more than what my house is currently being valued at.
Yeah.
But if you kind of treat it similar to stocks, where it's like, okay, you got to hang in there. Like, just because the value is down right now, it doesn't mean that I have to sell. If you could still afford your mortgage, why not keep it and continue down that way until the value goes back up, because it will. That's the general rule. There's always exceptions to the rules, but I hate it, and it like drives me crazy when people make lifelong decisions based on the exception of the rule instead of taking the general. Like, this is the general rule. Yes, there are exceptions to everything. Don't make life decisions because the exception might happen, which is very low probability.
Well, and one thing I was going to ask too is like, when it comes to assets and things, like you talk about the up and down, I'm not a Bitcoin guy.
Yeah.
But I it's unavoidable. It's a part of the financial talks nowadays, crypto.
Yeah.
And do you think we'll ever get to a point where people will actually be using crypto to buy houses?
I think so. I think it's part of the new world order. Speaking of conspiracy theories.
I love it. I love it.
We're going to go into a digital age very soon here. At that point, we're going to keep close to our prayers.
Yeah, right. Because I just think about, like, you talk the up and downs. Like, there's, you do your due diligence. You go to Cat Sales GA.
Cat Sells, period, GA for Georgia.
baby.
Baby.
And
That's my Instagram.
make sure you hit her up
Cat
there.
with a K. K-A-T Sells SELLS period G-A for Georgia. Georgia?
And definitely like make sure you keep up with that, because I mean there's just so many things. And like kind of wrapping up here, I just think I'm so grateful that you were able to make it here
Thank
today.
you for having
Like,
me.
is there any other website is the same, or the web? No, the web page.
We'll put the web page on for the viewers.
Yeah, we'll definitely tag
It's
that.
long, so I'm not even gonna try. It's so sorry. My last name, I'm foreign, so it's just forget about it if I try to spell
Forget
it.
about
Yeah,
it.
we'll be here for 5 minutes if I try to letter it out for y'all. So.
But Kat, I can't say enough. I thank you so much for coming here and gracing us with your knowledge, your time, and your presence.
Thank you for having me.
And y'all like definitely look in the bio for all the connection links and everything like that. And when
Like, follow, subscribe,
smash that notification button
and add a comment.
and
you know,
please tell us what you think, and then we will definitely follow up with you.
and tell us if you think it's a red flag for your partner to have a bunch of the opposite sex best friends, whether
Yes.
that's a male with a ton of girlfriends or a girl with a ton of guy friends. I'd love to hear your opinion.
Love to see that. But we appreciate y'all so much for listening, and thank you for being a part of the Strange Herd with us here today, Kat. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we'll hopefully see y'all again real soon. Y'all be strange now. Peace.
Ciao.